Wendy with a notebook, Wendy with a pen, digging through the dark where the secret's been. Questions fly like bullets, truth cuts deep in the shadows where nightmares creep. Watch them break it down, unveil the lies, under lurid skies where the danger hides. The fire in their veins and the trust in their eyes. Randy and Wendy taking you for a ride. Clues left scattered like whispers in the wind. Every page they turn closer to the end. No stone unturned, no mystery safe. Through the chaos they pave the way. Watch them break it down, unveil the lies, under lurid skies where the danger hides. The fire in their veins and distrust in their eyes. Randy and Wendy taking you for a ride. Clues left scattered like whispers in the wind. Every page they turn closer to the end. No stone unturned, no mystery safe. Through the chaos they pave the way. Watch them break it down, unveil the lies, under lurid skies where the danger hides. The fire in their veins and distrust in their eyes. Randy and Wendy taking you for a ride. Late nights burn bright under the moon. Answers buried deep, they'll find them soon. Guts and glory on a darkened stage. Randy and Wendy script the final page.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, guys.
I love that intro.
So sorry we're late. That's my fault. Computer issues as per. Telling you, Mac's coming out with a brand new laptop.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's why I end up having problems. They know. Just like
Let's
with
see.
stupid iPhone.
I don't know. So far, no, I'm not saying it. I'm not bragging or saying anything good about any of my stuff because as soon as I do, boom. Good morning, Melissa, Cassandra. Good to see you. Leo Wife. Good to see you. Sandy Law. I said hi to
Be
Melissa.
safe on the road, Nana Patty.
Yes, Lacey. And let me just keep on. Cassandra, good morning.
Leo, did you bet against me? For shame. For shame.
Good morning, Nitty.
Trying to hurt my feelings.
Good morning, Alan. Nana, be safe. Driving, so I'll be listening. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Danny G. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. How was your weekend? Wendell?
Mine was great. Mine was fine. Yeah, really good. Kids came over yesterday. It was always so great to see them.
Yes.
We're doing home improvement projects, which make me feel terrible. I do not enjoy those projects. But
hey, well, Lisa, good to see you. I don't enjoy them either. I don't. Some people love it.
We're ripping up carpet. We are putting in a floor. And when I say we, I don't mean we. I mean they are putting in. They're ripping up carpet. They're putting in a floor. We're looking at having a bathroom redone. Ugh. Sounds like a nightmare.
Speaking of bathrooms, let me tell y'all something. I'm documenting this. Mark this down. Because I believe that Jim wrote a check that his butt cannot cash, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. So, you know how you have that room in your house where you kind of just put stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so that is the room that leads into the bathroom. And the stuff that's in there, He thinks it's a big deal. Okay. He thinks that I've got a bunch of just tile, but I don't. Well, it's like it's a baby swing and like some of the baby stuff that I've collected through the last 3 years of being a grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Some this big sign that Stephanie. Anyway, it's not that much. And he said, "You got 2 room." Well, okay, I do too, Kathy. Shh. All right. So, but the room he picked is easy, and he said, "If if you get that room cleaned out," he said, "I'll build you the best shower you've seen." I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm
So
gonna have that done."
now it's on and cracking. You're gonna
It's
have it cleaned out in 2 minutes, and he's gonna have to build you a whole ass bathroom.
Yep,
Oh
yep.
boy.
I
And he
thought,
doesn't like to hire people to do stuff, right? He's a do-it-yourselfer kind of guy.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always fun.
He is selfish, Sandy. He doesn't understand you, does he? Randy throws stuff out of the window into a dumpster. Randy
Of
starts.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how her room is gonna be cleaned out in 2 minutes because she knows what's in there. I don't know. Somebody needs to tell Jim he got the short end of that stick.
he did. His offer, not mine. I've been showing him these showers, and what I would like. This is what I would like: a shower that, and I know that some of y'all probably have them, and but my house is an older house, it's an old farmhouse, so it don't. And the tiled just shower only.
A walk-in shower. Yeah.
Mhm. And that's what I want.
No tub. You don't want a tub?
No. I may
Ever
regret that.
again.
I may regret that, but no.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
We're doing that too. We're gonna do a built-in walk-in shower for me too. That's what we're doing with my bathroom.
yes.
We're gonna take out the tub and put in just a walk-in shower with a
I did.
bench.
See?
Get a bench. You'll love it.
Oh, I'll at least a chair. I'm just gonna sit
Yes.
there and just
Yes, you'll love it. I can't believe, you think
yeah,
you'll never need it, but then you use it every freaking time.
right.
You'll love
So
it. Yeah.
yeah, he has no idea because I've already got the baby stuff. I put on Facebook. I'm like, I got baby stuff free because it's the
Get it. It's
swing.
yours.
Swing never got used.
Do you not put that?
Um,
You're not going to sell it for anything?
no, not at Christmas time because
Oh,
it's brand new and
yeah.
So
Someone could really use it, I'm sure.
oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank
You
you.
don't just put your stuff out on the street and let someone come by and pick it up?
I did. I thought about doing that,
Yeah.
but I
That's
don't
what
know because I live on a back road, kind of.
Yeah.
Not really a back road, but a side road, and not a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'll be getting a letter from the city, our uppity city, that's like, the garbage is not going to pick that up. Well, I
Right.
know.
Large trash day isn't for another 6 months. Thanks. No, we put it out on the street with a sign on it that says free, and it's gone, a couple hours. Somebody will come by, snatch it up.
If I could go up on the main street and put it, because people stop there all the time and pick up, they put out really nice things on there.
Yeah.
Kathy. But yeah, we had a great weekend.
Oh, we
I
need to be on the lookout for Tammy,
got you,
because
Melissa.
aside of other threats, that she's made, she says that instead of calling the courthouse now, she's thought better of it. She's changed her mind about calling the courthouse. Instead, she's going to come in here and troll us. And that should ruin our day, because we don't know what to do with trolls. So good luck, Tammy. She says that I have a mental illness like she does, so it'll throw me off my game. Nobody has a mental illness like you do, Tammy. Sorry.
We're all crazy here, though.
You're not wrong. But please come in and troll us. I think it'd be lovely. We can't wait to see what you got.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be great.
Right. With the threat of calling my church.
Yeah, that too. Right, Sandy? We love a good troll. If you could be funny as a troll, you can stay in here the whole time. We don't block trolls. Unless you're a punk. Right. We just don't know who
Oh, I
she is
love
or
it,
what she
Ellen.
can do. Yeah, no idea.
Right. Or Sherry's gonna call the church. Whatever, Tammy. Whatever floats your boat. I didn't get involved in whatever was going on last night with you and everybody else. And I need for you and everyone else to stop lying and saying that I called your church when I did not call your church.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that because that is the story that's going around that you
Mhm.
called her church. She
It
even
never
thinks you
happened.
called her church.
Yeah. No, she don't. Well, I mean, she maybe she does think that, but she made a whole video that I never called her church. And
Well,
then,
I remember when it first was talked about, she said that, nothing ever happened from that. Don't worry.
mhm,
My church and I are fine. Da da da. Randy didn't get me kicked out of the church. Nothing, whatever. So she made a whole community post about that. I remember. But when she talks about it now, she says that you called the church.
yeah.
And I think most people think that's what happened. That's what I thought happened.
Yeah.
But you're saying no, that didn't happen. So very interesting. Someone needs to check their facts.
Right. Everyone that's saying I called a church, they need to check their facts.
Or get some proof. Bet you can't. But whatever.
Oh,
We
I
look
understand, Kathy, I
forward.
do.
We look forward to you coming in and trolling us, Tammy. It's going to be fantastic. We can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, I can show no, I don't have to show any. I have shown them the messages between her church and me. I have shown them. I showed the messages. It's been well, you'll go find them. She was calling my daughter a whore daily, and I didn't know. I was at my wit's end. I didn't know that other people had reached out, but yeah, I
Right.
did
And
that.
wasn't there like 15, 17 other people
Yeah.
that
Uh,
also contacted her church because she was
mhm.
being especially disgusting while saying things that as if she represented the church.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's why people felt they needed to contact them and let them know that she was doing that.
I was absolutely. I'm not gonna, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know that
I
that was
can't.
happening and I wasn't part of it, but that's
Right,
just
no.
what my understanding is
Yeah.
that
Yeah. She was. I don't know. It's kind of like she's being right now. Hey, heart of it all. She kind of like she's being right now is the way she was being,
yeah,
and um,
she's especially cruel
yesterday,
and gross.
if you
Hey,
think
heart of
about
it all. Good to see you, honey.
yesterday, she's like, yeah, their kids probably have mixed kindred. Talking about my grandkids.
Yeah, I mean, she thinks that if she talks about your grandkids, she is desperate for some attention. I guess Janie's trying to give her attention and she's not interested or whatever. She wants your attention as well.
Yeah, and this is
And
all you're gonna get
we
because
can barely
I can tell you with complete honesty that I prayed for her last night.
well, I did not.
I
And
did.
you're a better person than I am. Yeah, no, I don't have to care what happens to her. Sorry, Tammy. I think you're a terrible human. And we've been going to jail for 3 or 4 years now. So you want to hurry up about it?
Oh,
Hurry up and get us arrested, Tammy. Come on.
yeah, I need a break. Send me to jail for a few days. I could
She's
use a
not a
break.
normal person. Yes, exactly, Lace. She's not a normal person. There's no use in even fighting with her. Totally agree. She keeps going on about what this community has done to her Yeah, other than giving her over $3,000, this community has stood up for themselves after she's gone after everyone's children and parents and loved ones who passed away. And she's done everything better, bigger, more importantly than we all have. She's lived 10 lives. We've only barely lived one. She's better at us, better at everything than we are. And we don't care. Go be better then.
Yeah.
From what I see, we live rent free in your head every day, all day long, yelling at the internet. Couldn't be me.
No.
But anyway, on to this.
That's why we escaped, so we don't end up like that.
Right. Yeah. That's no place I'm interested in being. Sorry.
Right. So
Yeah, she's never going to change, Cassandra. She's always been one of the most vile, cruel people here in this community. I think that she is demon possessed. I really do. I believe that she's under the influence of demons. And they whisper things in her ears, and she believes them. That's what I think. And I don't know what else to do for her. I'm sure a better Christian would pray for her. I just leave her the fuck alone.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I'm just saying. I did. I was like, touch her in some way.
Okay, Jen.
That may or may not meant touch her over a cliff, but whatever. No, I'm just kidding. But
Rosebud, you know what? I saw a couple of thumbnails about that. I haven't looked into it though at all. Is it in court right now?
I think it is.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it at all though. But yeah, we could definitely, jump down that hole too.
Okay, Holden. So good to see you. You think it's going to be good? Hey, Mayor's daughter. He's being
No,
arraigned.
Melissa, we're talking about Tammy Spirit Finder. Tammy, I don't even know. She has several channel names now, but I don't. Oh, she said that she was going to let her dog kill us too. She made that threat again today too. That she could sick Mason on any one of us and she would rip us to shreds. The dog that doesn't even know how to go potty outside, that dog.
I'll sick Omar on you.
She's a trained killer.
Omar will lick you to death. He'll love on you till you're done, and that's the truth.
All right. Anyway,
every morning I'm like, Omar, it's way too early for this. Every morning, something really sinister. It seems went on between that judge and that sheriff because they were friends for years. There's a pending lawsuit.
Oh my!
We're gonna have to look this up.
Scandalous. Okay. All right.
I love me a good scandal.
We do love a good scandal.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. So today what we're going to do, and I haven't listened to all this because I wanted to do it with y'all, is the interview with Stephan Sterns' parents. We didn't get into that Friday because we were listening to something else. I don't know. But if you okay, so I got I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just kind of blanking. I got the video from Grizzly True Crime. I have her channel linked down below. But this is the one where, she uploads one without her talking. So we can talk, I guess. I don't know. It's a great channel. Y'all are probably already subscribed, but if you're not, please do. And I will definitely. Did I forget how to look? I did. Forgot how to share. Definitely have to do the closed captions on here because y'all tell me if y'all can hear it.
Okay. Can you make it full screen too?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
big ass tower out in Buffalo collapsed. And there were people working on it. They didn't send me to it because I was stationed someplace else, but I heard that guys were walking through the field. Oh, here's a utility belt. Pull it up and there's a body.
Yeah.
I mean, that's smash that person into the ground.
Oh, wow.
And that was a big
That's
event.
terrible.
Back then we had stainless steel revolvers.
Yeah.
So what was his dad a cop? He must have been a cop.
I don't know. I have no idea.
And I was telling the other guy I was driving at one time I had a Pala that the siren button was a button on the floor, left side.
Yeah.
No air conditioning.
No air conditioning in Central Florida?
Yeah. And I pulled the guy over and I clocked him, and it was just above Brewer Hill on Aloma. And he said, I think you were doing 70. And he said, no, this car won't do it 70. I said, this car does 70, and it was clocking you at 70. Even the ticket.
How long did you do?
I was in a couple of years, and then I just felt like I wanted to get into sales. There was a guy that lived in the apartment complex I lived at that worked for
We can
Stouffer
skip
Foods.
forward.
So here's the life. He's on the phone. He's making hotel reservations. He's making golf reservations. He's making dinner reservations. He had a company car, and I said, I want a job like that. So I went to Atlanta and ended up getting a job with Campbell Soup, and I was in the food business for 20 years.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, very nice.
So obviously this is a huge deal, right?
Obviously,
Oh, here we go.
It's changed from what it was at 3 o'clock.
Yeah. So throughout our investigation, we came up with obviously you live down in North Fort.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm just going to shoot you straight out of respect for you and everything else.
Appreciate it.
There's a storage unit down there.
Yeah, I have a storage unit.
You have a storage unit. Is that your son's storage unit,
No,
or is
it's
that
mine.
your storage unit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he have access to it?
No, I have the keys.
Okay. Were you aware that did your son come visit you on Monday morning?
This Monday?
Yeah.
No, he
the day
left
she
Sunday.
disappeared. Okay.
He left Sunday,
No, go ahead.
So, what time did you get here last night?
3 a.m.
3 a.m. When you got here, where did you meet your son and Jennifer?
We apparently pulled up at the same time at the hotel.
Perfect. Okay. When you guys got there, what did you guys end up doing?
We checked into the rooms. They had 239. I had 203. Opposite ends of the building. I brought my stuff up, went over and said goodnight, and then hit the sack.
After you guys went to your separate ways, when's the next time you talked to Stephan?
I got up at 6:30, 3 hours sleep, and went to the office because I figured he'd be sleeping in, crashed and burned, and didn't speak to Jen until 10:45-ish, and she called and asked if Stephan was with me, and I said no. Why? Well, he's not here. Oh, we'll go down to the lobby and see if he's in there. How long has he been gone? 25 minutes. Okay. I said, go check the lobby. And then I started to think about it. I called her back and I said, do you have the keys? No, I don't have the keys. So then she said, well, they just called and they're going to be out here within the hour. I said, oh, shit. So I drove out there. So it's probably out to the hotel because I was at my office.
Oh, okay.
Over off of Westwood.
Can I just say for the record that his father does not look like he's at the end of his life. He looks pretty great.
Yeah, he does.
And I
Yeah.
also love that he doesn't seem to be making one excuse.
No,
It's like,
not even a little bit, which I love.
yeah, I admire these people. Or him. I don't know about the wife yet. I won't say.
And I just grabbed my stuff and said, I'm going to go out there in case you guys showed up. I wanted to be there. So he hadn't showed up by the time I got there, and about 30 minutes later, he finally showed up, and I read him the fucking riot act.
Did he tell you where he was?
Well, he had an energy drink in his hand. He said he got lost, And you know, on the back roads, hell, I got lost and I had a GPS. And I said, no, this isn't the right exit. I had to do a U-turn. So I always get messed up over there.
Okay. So like my partner said, we're not here to waste your time. You've been in this line of work before. Did he tell you he was in Northport today? I'm assuming he didn't, based on your reaction. So, you need to take a seat? Or?
No,
Okay.
he was in Northport.
Yes. What's the exit you take to get off at your house?
All right. 179,
Okay. Do you know the street? Like,
Toledo Way.
so we have more than enough reason to believe that Stephan was in Northport today at the exit you take to get to your house. Our concern is we're conducting a missing person investigation.
Yes.
Given the proximity of that exit to your home, what we're trying to find out is if she's just hanging out in your house, you just want to get her somewhere safe, we want to put eyes on her, make sure she's okay.
She's not at our house because my wife, well, here's something strange.
Is anybody at your house now?
Yes, hang on a second. We raise standard poodles.
Say it again. You raised
We
what?
raise standard poodles.
Oh, okay. Poodle.
And they all, except they went on full fucking road.
House,
Yes.
throughout this period of time.
At what time you think
That's
that
what
was?
I thought.
Okay.
What time did the dogs go for?
Okay, this is a weird statement, but I love standard poodles. Carry on.
Full alert last night?
Stephan, I'll grab your water.
Oh, you're fine, Melissa. Thank you so much.
319.
3:19 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys have like ring cameras, any kind of security cameras on the property? Or do you
So we locked the door, and I don't, the door has a keypad, but when I left last night, it wasn't flashing. And that keypad, the battery's been in that thing for 4 years. So I called and I said, hey, that keypad doesn't seem to be working. It's not working right. So if you go out the garage, or you need to come back into the garage with the remote control. But she said the dogs went full alert at 3:19. We were at the hotel at 3 o'clock, so there's no way he could have been in Northport.
How big is your property down there?
Quarter acre.
Okay. So we've been in communication with some law enforcement down there, kind of working some leads. Would it be all right if we send someone to go talk to your wife?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll coordinate that. So she's home now.
Right?
Yeah. So we're working a missing person investigation currently. Like so.
Well, let me give her a heads up because it's going to be noisy.
Okay.
We got 5 standard poodles.
How is your property out there? Is it like a neighborhood? Do you guys have?
No, it's on scattered lines.
Okay.
Scaring lots.
Yeah.
So no
Is it
woods?
gated? Is it gated?
No, it's on scattered lines. It's just, no.
Yeah.
Our backyard's gated. They may want to, they're going to come over and want to search the house for, apparently, can I tell them?
Yeah.
Apparently, Stephan made a trip down to Northport last night. Or this morning, I should say.
Now, this was the trip where he was trying to get into the storage building, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
And he may have went by the parents' house.
I have no
I don't
idea.
remember, but they didn't know. Obviously.
But there's a storage unit, but he wouldn't have access to the keys to the storage unit
There it is.
because I have the only key to it. And that would have been locked in my car and he would have had to come in my room, which he didn't have a key to get into. He doesn't have a key. He took Jen's key. Storage room. It's in my console.
Can she check and make sure the key's there?
What? Well, is the key in the basket? We'll go look at the key in the basket.
The key in the console is in this car that you're driving up?
Hang on a second. What?
You said the key in the console is in
My car? Yeah, it's only one key.
this car out here?
Yeah. Do I need to go look?
Yeah, let's go see if it's in there.
Yes, she can look for the key in the house. We can look for the key in the car.
We were wondering if he had a house. We use that to transfer the chemicals up to the head, and they puke and they bleed in the back seat for whatever procedure they have. So that's the Bill sailor, watch out sailor.
Oh, there's a poodle with you.
No, it's a
Oh no, it's like a.
it's my sister's dog.
Seriously.
In theory, right? Here's your waters.
Oh, thanks.
So, other than the storage unit in your house, could you see any reason for Stephan to go down to where you live?
No. Does he have friends down there? Other family members?
Did he say storage unit at your house? Or did he say storage unit and your house? I think that's what he said.
Yeah, I think that's what he said too, because I don't think the storage unit is at his house. I think he just means it's in the area.
Yeah.
No other family members. He's got some friends or acquaintances that he plays whatever war games or
Like computer games or?
no, it's a board game.
He plays on card games and action figures.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
he's painted all these caricatures and what have you. He's gotten, some awards or recognitions for the work that he's done with these characters. But what time did you catch him on the camera down there?
He knows exactly what it is. He's on the phone, so I don't want to misspeak.
Yeah.
But it was clearly when you were unaware that he was down there.
So I went to bed.
How long does it take you to get from Orlando to there?
Well, with no traffic out last night, 2.5 hours.
Okay.
But if you're dealing with traffic early this morning, you're going to be looking at
Oh, yeah.
close to 3.
Yeah.
Because the traffic on I-4 getting out of here, and then you catch up to 75, and then you catch up to Bradenton, and
What ways can you go?
you can go through the center of the state.
Is that the turnpike?
No, the center of the state would be you where the technical college is on I-4.
Okay.
You hit there, and then you go down like 27 or 17 or something. But you go down the center of the state and avoid all that
So
bullshit.
27 to what?
I'd have to look it up on the app because I don't pay attention. I just follow the GPS.
Okay.
But you're going down really the middle of the state, and you come out at Arcadia, and then you head towards 75, Kings Highway, and then you go up north to Toledo.
Okay. It's like speaking German when
Right. Hey, listen, I grew up here.
Yeah.
Went to Winter Park High. And
What brings you down to Northport?
Well, we build homes in 6 cities. I'm the broker for the company. We started in Poinciana, no habla español. So I was actually going to go to Palm Coast, and then I went over to look at some homes that we were building in Northport. I said, "Oh, this is beautiful. I love it. It's rural."
Yeah.
And I said, and I expected it to mirror our experience in Palm Coast, but we had a bit of a rocky start. Right now, I got 100 homes that are going to be completed. The market's changed, and I'd love to be able to sell them right away. But I went down there because I thought it was a better area. The whole Southwest is a great area.
It's a booming area.
It is. I mean, Northport was rated the second fastest growing city last year.
Just got to get these Yankees to come down and buy some homes.
Well, everybody's stuck in their homes.
Yeah.
They love those 2 and 3% interest rates, which
Yeah.
will never go away.
No.
And they'll never repeat.
They'd be foolish to get rid of those.
Yeah. Well, the Northerners coming down here will, because they want to get the hell out of the North.
So when you read your son the Riot Act, what do you mean by that?
I said, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
I said, if they came here and you weren't here, they would immediately put a bolo out and find you and arrest your ass and just haul you off to jail. Is that what you want? Well, I'm sorry. I said, I'm just so fed up with him at this point. And obviously there's something here because I've been here almost 6 hours. So, I've been here 6 hours. So something's going on. Look, he spent a lifetime lying to us.
There it is.
And
I like this guy.
Yeah.
To have to say he spent a lifetime lying to us while a child is missing. He
Yeah.
already knows. It's kind of like he already knows.
Oh, he does. I think he's been onto him from the jump.
Yeah.
It's just never gotten better. And he fed me some bullshit the other day. And before I left the house the other night, I turned to my wife and I said, "Do we really know Stephan? Can we honestly say we really know?"
Yeah.
And she got really kind of defensive a little bit. I said, "No, I'm not saying that he did something, but can we honestly say we really know him?"
So the other day.
Well, when I left last night, I said, "Hey," I turned to her, I said, "Do we really know him? You know, is he capable of doing something harmful to her?"
Why would you suspect
Dang.
Because
That gotta suck too. What a
some
sad reality.
inconsistencies,
I'm about speechless.
It's a sad reality, you know? Like
Yeah.
to even think that your son could do something like that.
Yeah. Well, to have to sit there and discuss it. Do you think your
Right.
son is capable of
So
that?
yeah, to even be able to go to that place in your head about your own child, it's
Yeah.
gotta suck.
the phone calls he had with me didn't add up. Okay.
Rosebud,
So
I'm
I'll give you the
glad that you
sequence.
said that. Sorry.
No,
You
no,
gotta
no.
nip that. You gotta nip that in the bud right now, too. He's 9 and already doing that. You know, you do. You gotta nip that shit in the bud. Like, dude,
Mhm.
no. You gotta decide what kind of man you're gonna be. You're gonna be a con, running from the law your whole life, you know, running from responsibility, being a cheat. Is that who you want to be, or do you want to be a man of respect? Well, that's option. You can call that Plan B, I guess. I mean, mine. We'll call mine Plan B. You do that first, then we go with mine. Hey,
I
Janet.
missed what she said. I can't say it because it
She said
keeps me
she's
on.
got a grandson, 9, already lying. I told him you can't con a con. Some of these kids talk
Yeah.
to adults like shit. And she said, I'm going to kick his ass. And I said,
Oh,
we'll
okay.
call mine Plan B then. That's Plan A. Understood.
Hey, Janet Warren. So glad you're here. Thank you.
He calls me mid-afternoon, 3-ish, maybe 3:45 or something, and say, "I just had a flat tire." Okay. How the fuck did you get a flat tire? You just drove over to Kissimmee. You took her, maybe you're running an errand, but where would you have gone to get a flat tire? The tire was so flat, he drove on it and ran the is that Jen?
Yeah, we were finishing up.
He ran the rubber right off the wheel.
Yeah.
So he had to travel a good distance to do that. And then he pulled into a shopping center.
Oh.
And I said, "Was the donut in there?" "Yeah." Swapped it out and almost crushed my thumb. I said, "Okay."
You know what shopping center he changed his tire?
Oh.
Or where he picked up the flat or
Karma.
anything?
I have no idea. So
This
then,
was Monday, just to confirm.
yeah, Monday afternoon. Do we want to talk someplace else?
We can, yeah. You
Yeah.
want to put Jen in the truck? Jen, you mind sitting in the truck for a little bit while we finish talking to?
In the trunk?
Yeah, that's fine. Or wherever you're comfortable. You can sit in the weekend or whatever you guys.
How long are we going to be?
A few more minutes. Yeah.
And we're done.
It's been a while already. I apologize.
All right. Take them out. So then, so then
Was he saying all of this in front of Jen?
I don't know.
Man, I hope so.
Yeah.
Then around 5:00, I get this call, and he's telling me about, well, there's been an incident, and
Thank you, Janet.
then he tells me that he dropped her off. And I said, "Well, tell me what you mean by that." And he said, "Well, I dropped her off. She doesn't want to be seen being dropped at school because you're not driving a cool enough car." "Oh, okay, so you're not driving a Lamborghini, you can't drop her off at school." Okay, dropped her up the block off. He said he watched her through the rearview mirror, walked towards school, and then he left. And I said, "Okay." And so now you're finding out when you went to pick her up that she wasn't there. And everybody's just discovering this at the end of the day. How many hours later? Okay. So then, trying to think when I had the conversation about his phone. So I said, okay, well, they're going to want to know where your whereabouts were because you're the last person that saw her, so they're going to want to know. I said, did you have your phone with you? No. Why would you have your phone? I just forgot it. Forgot mine. I said, beautiful. So then he tells me that he did an OS update. Now I'm a techie guy. And I said, okay. And he said, wipe the phone out. Really? How does that happen? It's an OS update. It's automatic. You say yes, and that's it. It updates, and then it reboots. It doesn't reset. It reboots. Well, I was multitasking, and I hit a wrong button, and it reset. And I questioned that. And I said, so there were some inconsistencies there. So why would that phone be wiped out? And I asked him last night, when you guys wanted the phone, I said, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to give them the phone? No, I don't think so. I said, okay, give them the phone. Yeah. So
I love it. First of all, I love that he questioned him about the rebooting of the redoing the phone.
Yeah, the factory reset.
Mm-hmm. But I also love when he does his son's voice. He's like, I raised a dingleberry and I know it. Okay. Okay.
Well, no. Is there something on the phone?
Has he ever suffered from like mental illness or anything?
From what?
Mental illness?
Me?
No, not him.
Okay. When he was 8, he and a friend were playing in a parking area, and a guy came out and got in his Toyota pickup truck, said hello to the kids, and then backed up over him. And they both were run over, but he got hit in the head with the bumper, and he had a slight tick. He had separation anxiety, so he slept with us for a while, and finally I said, no, you got to go to your own bed and get over that. He would go over to a neighbor's home and spend the night and show up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning wanting to come home. But as far as
nothing diagnosed or medication.
Well, he's been seeing a psychiatrist or psychologist or something. He's been on anxiety meds, depression or what have you. I have no idea what they're talking about because obviously he doesn't share that with me. But he's battled a number of things: depression, anxiety, and what have you.
As a child or as an adult?
Maybe ADD as a child, and as an adult, more severe.
Okay. Was he able to
suffer from sleep apnea?
Was he able to complete school no problem?
Well,
Sleep apnea.
Depends on who completed it. My mother, his mother. Okay. We did online schooling, and she ended up doing most of the work for him.
Did he ever go to college?
No.
What did he do for work?
I've had him work with me in a variety of ways. When we were here in Orlando from 2010 to 2013, I did these, what they call BPOs. They're kind of like appraisals. I did 15,000 of them and had him and his friends go out and take these photos. And it was always a challenge to get his ass out of bed and go to work. No motivation. The more you do, the more you make.
Yeah.
No motivation there. So and after that, that work went away. I got involved in various projects around the state of Florida. He really didn't do much. He worked at Quiznos for a while. That didn't last long until he wrecked his car. So he's been living with us and me trying to get him out of the house to go work. He came down to Northport. He stayed there with Jen. So while we were down there until December of last year, he lived with Jen. And then I was supporting him in Orlando, and I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. You got to come back.
Yeah.
And I was trying to create an opportunity for him down there, but that didn't materialize. Then I'm trying to get his ass out to get a job at Lowe's or Home Depot or something.
time-wise, it was sometime like 7:45. She was down there.
7:45 this morning.
So, did you tell your wife that North Court meeting's on the way? Did you speak to her already?
I will let her know that we got sidetracked on something. They're coming there to see if she's hiding in the house.
Yeah. So what we'd like to do is, given that he went down there, we'd like to make sure like he didn't stash her in the bedroom and hey, just hang out here.
No, she's been sorting out his bedroom because he lives like a fucking pig.
And you said you guys have a Ring camera, right?
Well, I was about to tell you that I switched. Hey, Northport Police is going to stop by to do a wellness check type of thing. They're going to see if somehow.
House yelling her name. Just that motherfucker. You know what? You know what stopped him from getting in the house? He didn't have a garage door opener. The front door lock is not working well.
Yep.
And I had put the lock on the slider.
Okay, so there's the mom.
Okay.
He couldn't get in.
All right. So I'm with the detectives,
think
and
she just called her son an MFer.
and they're sending Northport Police over to do a check to make sure that she isn't there. Okay. So you may want to alert the dogs. They're really
lock them up.
friendly.
I've got their food. I'm fixing to feed them.
Okay.
Just tell them they'll get noisy, okay?
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go.
They're good guys. I've been landline with them.
Yeah.
If there are any issues, give me a call.
All right.
Bye.
Okay.
And as far as outside of your house, what does the layout of your yard look like?
Well, there's a house to the right of me, and to the left of me there's woods, and there's woods across the street that fronts I-75. At 7:45, it would have been well lit. There would be small amount of traffic going up and down our street because they're constructing homes nearby, so there's always people doing that.
So this is no HOAs, I'm assuming?
No, sir. No, it's all scattered by.
When you say woods, you mean like woods, or like a thicket?
Woodwood. Yes.
What's your address?
With the satellite view, you'll see there's wooded lots all around. So next to me, there's a new house, and he's a renter. There's my house, and then to the left, there is wooded lot. There's a lot of wooded lots before my house, and then you run into one or two houses.
So going back to the cameras, you were going to say something.
Okay, so I ditched Comcast, and
Okay.
I had the Sky Bell hooked up to Comcast.
Okay.
And I realized when I kept seeing this orange light, I said, shit, I got to move this over. It's a pain in the ass. Move it over to the Frontier Communications versus Comcast. So I've got to reconnect it with you on that.
So the cameras weren't working for the last
No,
week?
because we
Okay.
discontinued the service. Matter of fact, the modem's sitting in my office floor.
Okay. All right. Do you think your son's capable of doing something like this? I know it's a hard question as a father.
I wasn't a hero and a welcome comment. I said, how well do we know?
Yeah.
And nothing would surprise me at this point. I don't know.
Is your wife his mom?
Yes, we are biological parents to him. I'm going to say anything's possible.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, there would have to be some ulterior motive for some reason.
Sure.
Was there a motive?
Well, we don't know. We're trying to find her. We still think she's alive. So
Well, this press conference indicated that she had some comments on social media about I want to live in the woods.
yeah,
Was that accurate or?
that was. Well, we were not going to put anything inaccurate out there. That just tarnishes the validity of the
I asked Jen about that. She said, "Yeah, we had a conversation about a third World War. Where would you live? You know, the Palestine-Israeli situation. That's what." So
that was more of a fictitious. If doomsday happens,
Yeah.
sweetheart, where are you going to live? Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go live in the woods. I said, she go live in the woods now by herself? I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, my idea of roughing it is that Howard Johnson's without a pool.
What is?
No kidding.
Do you know the unit number for your storage unit?
Yeah.
Because obviously you see the scope of what you're doing. At some point, we may want to get that storage unit as well.
I was there a couple of weeks ago pulling out some tax boxes. There's not that much room in there. I mean, you could stash the body if you wanted to, if that's the case. But like I said, as far as I know, I have the only key. I don't know if there were 2 keys issued, and I haven't seen the other key for well over a year. So,
is there a chance that he has that key?
I would say
There's always a chance.
There
right?
could be a chance because he's stolen from us,
Okay.
and why he would want it is beyond me, because all his stuff is that he has, guitar or what have you, is stuck in the very back, and he didn't want that. But I've ended up trying to clean out our garage, and I stuck all the other stuff there, and he wouldn't like that. Nor would I think he would spend the time to pull shit out of there to get it.
What did he think about?
My impression is that he loves the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And he was very upset Monday when he was talking to me. He was sobbing and blaming himself for her disappearance, and he was just.
I bet he was.
I could tell he was just going to be an emotional wreck.
Yeah. Did he ever have? Did he discipline her? How long were?
It's hearsay. He may have yelled at her because Jen and Jen would tell me this. That Jen.
Maybe during the holidays or whatever, where you were with the whole family.
They came down at Thanksgiving or Christmas. My wife and the dog.
Slept with who?
My wife and the dog.
And the dogs.
Yeah.
And during those times, was your relationship seemingly normal?
Yeah. I mean, they secluded themselves in Stephan's room, the 3 of them.
And then Jen.
Jen.
Okay.
And they would spend the bulk of their time there. Times and play with the dogs. They would bring Sailor with them.
Okay.
And would go into the bedroom and maybe read a book or watch a movie together, hang out.
Okay. And nothing, I mean, you were a cop for years. Nothing you noticed that would be alarming?
I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
So then just going back to the storage unit, obviously they're going to go to the house and check in the near future. Would you have any issues with us checking out your storage?
Your code was used this morning to access the property, the storage property. Your keypad code.
Yeah.
I have Northport PD in front of your storage unit. I know we're in a kind of a weird situation. Are you all right if they end up breaking the lock to get in there to make sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Alex,
He just asked, I just heard it, he just asked Mr. Sterns if he was okay with us breaking the lock.
Yeah, just the keypad.
He told him we were here, somebody accessed.
We're working with management down there.
He said yes. Are you okay with that?
And this is statewide news. This is huge news.
Yep.
So a lot of people are going above and beyond helping us.
Let me go down.
I didn't even know he had the key.
Okay.
I don't know how he would have gotten the keypad.
It's interesting. What's your code? Sure. What do you want to do?
They want the waivers signed before they break down the door. Like
Oh,
consent search.
okay.
So, yeah, they want a consent search. So,
Yeah. Do you mind?
Will they
doing-
take a wet signature or an e-signature?
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think you paid your total renter to enter the property this morning.
And what time was that at?
9.
9. So
And your wife, by chance, wouldn't have went to the storage unit?
She wouldn't even know where it is.
and Jen was with you this whole time, right? So
Wait. When I don't know where Jen was until she called me at 11.
okay, at 11.
And she said, "Hey, Stephan's not here. Is he with you?"
Okay.
So then he made up this story of getting lost and whatever. So there we go.
Made up the story. Dang.
We can probably go upstairs.
Was that?
We can go upstairs.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. We'll take this elevator right here.
Well, we're just walking. I was like 8,900. I keep walking. I'll hit my 10,000 steps.
Was this the sheriff's? There's no way this was the sheriff's office.
No, it was just opening up.
Down 33rd is where you guys are at.
Yeah.
Who was the sheriff?
Mel Coleman.
No. Okay.
You'll have to Google it.
I would. All we have is pictures. We have shrines of past sheriffs all over. I'm sure we'll see him.
He was a good guy. He was kind of, I guess, revolutionary back then, young guy and what have you.
Yeah.
But, what was the pay back then? I think I was making 800 a month. Tell me that.
Yeah, but back then that was a good job, right?
Well, it was fun. I tell you what, once you get it into your blood, you never let it go. So I was moving from Campbell Street from Jacksonville to Orlando.
Am I going to be able to get back there?
I'll go there. Yeah.
At the office in Jacksonville to take somebody on a rider walk.
Yeah. Okay.
So I pull up 436, 1792 in Casper. There's a green pickup truck in front of this stupid Pepsi rental truck. And as I'm approaching the
I can tell the cop is not wanting him to. I mean, he just don't want to hear his stories. He wants him to talk about Stephan. That's the
Right. Like, how long does he have to put up with that before they can cut to the chase,
Right.
This guy is, and then I noticed, I went running up to the reason and turned around the payphone because that's what happened. I think he's going to be heading eastbound on I-4. They came up.
Hey, Evan, is that remote right there? Can we turn this thing off? Yeah.
And so, Alamo PD came up, took a report, as I'm talking to him, to get a video alert, because they got now they got me to identify. I didn't get out of there until midnight. And I get outside of Jacksonville, not far from my exit from the car. Stop. I said, "Thank you, Lord, appreciate that."
Yeah.
And it was a long day, to say the least.
So are you guys still residing in Orlando part-time? You mentioned something off of Westwood.
There we
That's
go.
where our corporate office is.
That's your corporate office.
And so when I got up this morning, I went over there to meet up with everybody and then kill some time because I'm just a type A personality. I'm just not going to sit around
Sure.
waiting for whatever.
So sitting in a parking lot had to kill you.
It did. It's just like, come on.
Yeah.
So anyway, it wouldn't surprise me if somehow he stole the key out of my car because I put all the keys there.
Okay.
So I had.
Does he have access to your car?
He would.
He would.
Because I would keep the keys on my desk. He could easily go in there and do something else.
And when was the last time he was at your house in Northport? Was it over the weekend for her birthday?
So I moved him back down from Kissimmee in December.
Okay.
To try to get him started on another career opportunity.
Okay.
It materialized. So trying to work on some other things. So he visited them. He lied to me about this. He visited them maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Visited who? I'm sorry.
Jen.
Okay.
And I'm going to Frank's house and I need a little extra cash. Okay, when are you going to be back? I'll be back later tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I get an alert that a toll booth truck. On E-Pass, I get an alert. I go, trucker. call him up and say,
I just told him
how
to look at
specific?
the date,
Yeah.
and he
You know,
identified
well, you know,
And he said-
so he lied to me about what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was in Orlando until
I'm gonna
3 o'clock, maybe Sunday, and then he left because I told him
Yeah, that's what I told
he
him.
had to take care of his room, clean the mess out of there before he could go.
Yeah.
So he did that. He got up there at 6:30 or so.
So I was kind of overhearing their conversation. Would it be safe to say and accurate that your son had no rights to this this storage unit at all?
If he asked my permission, I would allow it.
Did he ever ask your permission?
No.
Okay.
And again, like I said, I've been missing this key for,
Yeah.
how long have I had this? Maybe, I've had this key for maybe 18 months.
Okay. So was he staying with you kind of in Northport?
Yeah. But
Up until now.
I moved him back in December because I
Okay.
couldn't afford.
Okay, so from December to today, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where was he staying up here with Jen?
Yeah.
Okay. I just realized we just let Jen downstairs. She had the key to your truck?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess we won't be too long. Just it's dark out. Okay.
She'll be all right. She'll be all right.
All right. So he stays down there. And how often does he come up here to visit Jen and Maddie?
I think since he left in December, this would be the second, maybe third trip, but second, maybe third.
Yeah. Okay. So in December, that's February, almost March, second of May. So maybe once a month. Would that be fair?
He actually went in December for Christmas time, now that I think about it, because he was not included in the family outing, but he was there. So then he made this faux trip there, and then he made this, so 3 times. He's
Okay.
been there 3 times.
Okay. And she stays at that apartment in Kissimmee. Has she been staying there?
And he rented, and they were. So then he made this faux trip there, which I ended up having to pay.
Renting a room within the same apartment?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Jen's father rents the rooms out.
And does Jen's father live there? Or does he
No.
lease the apartment and then sublease the rooms?
Well,
inside?
he owns the townhouse and he rents out the rooms and charges his daughter rent.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I came into this towards the tail end of the investigation. For some reason, I thought he was living in that apartment like today.
No.
But okay.
No, he was just visiting.
All right. You guys going back home tonight?
No, I booked the room for tonight.
Okay.
Go back tomorrow.
Well,
I didn't know what was going to happen today, so I booked the room for the second night.
okay. Well, I don't know what they're
You know what really gets me? When I left him at 3 o'clock, you know, you could see that he was physically exhausted and worn out. Matter of fact, I heard a comment when I was talking to them that he was falling asleep in the car on the way to the hotel. So I figured he'd get in bed, crash and burn, and that would be it. It's pretty ballsy to assume that Jen would sleep through the entire night and not wake up and find he wasn't there.
I don't disagree with you.
Because it was 10:45, she calls and said, "Is Stephan with you?" And I go, "No."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, he hasn't been here for 25 minutes."
And that's probably, I'm assuming, like she woke up, it's been 25 minutes, he hadn't shown up.
Yeah, I expected him to return, and he never returned.
Yeah.
And then he showed up maybe towards 11:30. Yeah, maybe it was like 11:30.
I'm a little confused about this timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know, Alan.
Really
Oh.
weird.
I don't know why he said faux trip because he apparently Stephan lied to them about where he was going. He wasn't supposed to go to Jen's. I guess they didn't want him to.
Really blows my mind. obviously something. I'm afraid to even say it.
Yes,
Think
Lacey.
What's that?
There's just too many inconsistencies here, and his behavior is indicating something else is going on here. You know, why would he spend nearly 6 hours driving round trip to go to Northport to the storage unit?
Well,
I mean,
hopefully
we
we may be able to figure that
the
out.
body was in Jen's car.
We're trying to figure it out.
Have you asked him?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, we talked to him.
Wow.
So
Wow.
hey,
He's got him. Look, his dad had him. As a murderer from the jump. It looks like.
Right. That's what I bet. That is my theory. The dad knew from the jump that he was responsible for everything.
What are you doing?
Wow.
I'm inside the building.
let me check on that. Don't wander off too much.
What's that?
Yes, Ellen.
Pausing the recording at 10:15. It's a surreptitious recording with Mr. Sterns. My name's Corporal Richards. Also 10:12 with me was Corporal Evan Avila and Kissimmee Detective. Please meet Mr. Sterns. Still there?
Mr. Sterns.
No, go ahead.
So we were initially going to go ahead and use the consent, but we're going to kind of slow down on that aspect. We want to make sure we're doing this all the right way to do what's best for her and to make sure that we're above board on everything. So while we greatly appreciate your cooperation, we're not going to force entry in there right now. Does your wife ever go to the storage unit?
Does she what?
Ever go to the storage unit?
No. No, she's never been to that storage unit.
How does he know the code to your code to the storage unit?
He
Is
must
it
have-
written down somewhere?
No. So I was thinking about that earlier. So there's another incident here. So I get a call from the storage unit
No, Pam,
2 or
he's
3 weeks
not.
ago, telling me that they were running an audit of the units because there was going to be an inspection or something, and my unit wasn't properly locked. So
Okay.
the way it works is that you've got this slide mechanism, unlock it and then unbolt it from the hinge. And then you have to push it back and secure it in one of the 2 holes. And they said it wasn't properly locked and they had flagged it and I needed to get over there and fix it. So I went over there, opened it up, looked at it, everything's fine, and then locked it properly. And I'm going to say maybe there's a 50-50 chance I did that, but I'm pretty anal about it. And so I don't know.
A 50-50 chance you did what? What do you mean?
Who, the dad?
A 50
Who? The dad, Rosebud? Oh, I read that wrong. Will she even be? I think, like Susan said the other day, which I would like to find some more, because ours ended up being glitchy, some more panels that she had been on and talked about this, because she fully believes that Jen will eventually be arrested, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be true.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
On what though?
Well, I think that I just don't think that she didn't know what was going on. I think that she enjoyed the money that he was making.
The selling of the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
There's not been any evidence of that, right? Other than the 35,000 pictures they found, because
Right.
that thought has not left my mind. I feel like there's more to that. I wouldn't be surprised if they came back with actual proof that they were selling these pictures. And in that case, I could see her getting arrested for part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But that
And
is so fucking gross. But this whole
yeah,
case is so fucking gross, you know? There's no end to the gross of what they did with this poor girl.
no. So I do think that she'll be arrested. I'm not even sure now, because it's been like, I think about this case all the time, and I just picture something happening in that bedroom, or them making a decision to possibly do something with Madeline. And instead of her saying, "Y'all go have a sleepover, I need to get a good night's rest," which makes 0 sense. Maybe there's a possibility, allegedly, that she knew he was going to hurt Madeline that night.
You don't think if she knew he was going to hurt her daughter, she would have tried to stop it?
No.
But what would the motive be?
If Maddie really was pregnant.
I mean, I guess that's the thing. And because she's a minor, we might not ever know some of the things that would answer some of these questions. But I feel
Right.
like, if she was pregnant, that is, that's a huge piece of information and also goes to motive. If they were selling the pictures, that speaks to Jen's involvement. And I don't know why he felt he needed to kill her. Maybe if she was going to blow the lid on the whole thing. I don't know. God, there's so many questions I have.
Right. I wonder if
Why did you do this?
If their talk in the room that morning or that night was Madeline didn't want to participate in their shenanigans anymore.
Right.
She
didn't
want to be
anymore.
Yeah, she wanted to be a daughter, not a
Right.
S worker.
Yes.
So yeah. What we need is for Jen Soto to break and just tell the truth.
But
that's just my opinion.
No, but and I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you, with the exception of they gave her full immunity already, and she said nothing. She gave them nothing in that interview. It was a whole waste of time.
Yeah, and I think
offered her full immunity. Look, tell us whatever you need to tell us. You cannot get in trouble. And she still didn't tell them anything.
Yeah, I think they were very mad at her about that. But
well, yeah, you could tell they were mad at the end of the interview, especially Mr. J. He was not happy with her at all because it went nowhere. It was worthless.
Yeah, but I think that she probably didn't believe them that, hey, I can say what I want and they're not going to charge me. Yeah, right.
So you think she didn't believe?
You cut out. Hey, Calamity. Watch Gavin Fish and the interview he did with a guest on his show, Enlightening. Okay. Let me go on StreamYard.
Is it about this?
Probably. This person, and I shouldn't say he, I don't know if it's a he, has covered quite a bit of Madeline Soto. It is a he.
It is a tough case, Cassandra, for sure. It is.
It
There's
is, y'all.
so much that we don't know. Especially, the why questions, which I always want answered, which rarely get answered in true crime cases. You never get to understand why. Very rarely do those questions get answered, but that's my biggest question every time. I always want to know, like, why? Why did you feel like you had no other choice but to kill this girl?
Right.
Why happened? Were you doing the dirty, gross things you were doing with her to begin with? Fucking pig.
And we can honestly say he's a sick monster. He's
Yes.
a sick monster.
Yes, we can say that.
And there's a big chance because he's brought it up so much, too, because, he's mentioned several times about her having a crush on a boy, and that's not really a big deal. But he made that into a big deal when he would give his interviews. She told me about a crush. I don't know if he's saying that because he was jealous or if because he thinks, let me tell them this because they'll know that we were just so close that she would tell me this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, Pam. I don't think we'll ever know the why unless he just breaks.
If it's the chance you did what?
I may not have locked it properly, or maybe now that
Go on to he didn't even get in there. Okay, he didn't get in.
I'm aware that he possibly had a key to it, that he wouldn't have taken it.
Okay.
But nothing out of the ordinary.
Has he ever gone to the unit to help you with something and you get?
Oh, he's helping load it up, yeah.
Okay. So he could have the code for that.
Maybe he observed me punch it in the code,
Okay.
which is pretty devious on his part.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
How long did it take you to get up here last night?
pretty good time.
When you say pretty good time,
There's no traffic.
so what
None on 75 and nothing on, so I think I got up here, I'm definitely under 3 hours, but I would say at least 2.5 hours. Trying to figure out where we were going to stay because had no idea. So we found a place out there off of Western Parkway. So I think I left around midnight and got up here 2:45-ish.
all right. Well,
I could pinpoint it exactly just by looking at what time
that's all right. That was kind of just
just a ballpark because we don't go down to Northport at all. Well, so we've been all very, very straightforward with each other. You've inferred several times that you suspect there's more going on.
Mm-hmm.
We did do a release. Your son has been arrested for sexual battery.
What?
Your son was arrested for sexual battery.
He didn't know yet.
Okay. And that's where we're at with this investigation right now.
Obviously it wasn't Jen, but.
so it's still active, so we won't get into who the victim is, but I mean, you've done this job before. I think you can reasonably infer where we're at.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why things are going to slow down a little bit.
Understand.
We're slowing the pace down just a little bit. In that regard, not necessarily in the regard of trying. Okay. So we're going to be, executing a search warrant down there at the storage unit. There's no reason to break the lock. We're just going to go take a look.
So you need me there with the key to let you in?
Not necessarily. They'll coordinate that, and
So at this point, they don't even know that he has the Google Drive stuff in that. They just got the stuff from his phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
with the storage unit and get that done. So that's kind of where we're at, and I'm pretty sure Jen already knew that happened. So
Jen do what?
Jen does know, correct?
Yes. So
Jen knows that he's been arrested. Jen doesn't know anything about the incident itself.
She's a little more informed, given that she direct involvement. Whether she chooses to share that with you or not.
Yeah, we're protected under law of disclosing victims' information. But we've had a long conversation, and
I'll ask before you go, because I don't know if the Kissimmee officer has your contact information, just so I can relay it. What is your phone number, Mr. Sterns?
So he is just now
So what I'm
finding
gonna
out
do,
his son was doing
I'm
that.
gonna hand that to the lead detectives on the case.
So you say Kissimmee,
Wow.
so it's not,
Initially, we believe this was going to be a sheriff's office case. And at this point, it's not looking like it's going to be a sheriff. It's going to be a Kissimmee case. Now, we are heavily involved, which is why we're all here.
well, you got two issues you're dealing with here.
What's that?
You got the missing person that's in your jurisdiction, and then I guess the Kissimmee's handling the other issue.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So we're going to continue to remain involved. That's the semantics of it, of who's investigating. But that's why we're at the Orange County Sheriff's Office today and not the Kissimmee Police Department.
So will he be transported to Kissimmee or?
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. So initially, he'll be at Orange County, and then eventually he'll go to Osceola.
Is there multiple counts?
Right now, there's only one count,
Okay.
but the investigation's still unfolding, so there could be more.
I don't anticipate him getting out anytime soon, so.
No.
What I would ask is that you remain available. I mean, you've been.
Because we're still trying to.
Yeah, I think you understand the gravity of what we're our first priority, and that's why we've tried to elicit this cooperation from you. Understand there probably gonna be some cost at your house down there, some cost at the storage unit. We just ask that you're available for us.
So will I be interacting with Northport PD?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of our guys is going to get a bag, and he's going to drive down there and try to get this all facilitated within the next 24 hours.
Okay.
And Northport, I believe they were going to go talk to your wife and just make sure.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah, she was there.
Okay.
Well, they were there when I was talking to her, so.
All right.
What, when you say available, you need me here or just?
No, I mean,
Accessible?
accessible. Be available by phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We, as far as I know, we don't need you here for anything in Orange County. Obviously, I'm sure Jennifer needs you here, but that's up to you how you want to handle that.
Yeah.
I don't know if she has family locally, but
Jennifer has family locally, so we're trying to, I gotta get her back to her car.
Right.
And is she free to go back to the townhouse?
I'm not sure if we're
here
still
shortly. She's not going to have
processing that. Her car is the white Nissan.
Nissan. We have that car.
Yeah, we have that
Oh, now
car.
she doesn't have a car, so where's she supposed to spend the night?
He's like, "Cause she ain't staying with me."
Callous. Ideally, we'd like to get the plan is to release her home back to her. We don't believe we need access to the home right now. I'll get you a definitive answer here shortly.
So she can go back home tonight.
Hopefully.
I'll get you an answer for that here shortly.
Hopefully.
What about the Lincoln that you impounded? What's the status of that?
That's still being processed.
Okay.
I
I just want to give you fair warning
Mhm.
that it's the Poodle ambulance,
It's the poodle ambulance.
because we
Okay.
put the dogs in there for when they're coming in season, or they just had litter pups, so sometimes they get puke or blood smeared on the seats, and even though you try to clean it up, I said, I don't want somebody to get too excited, and all of a sudden you pick up,
That makes,
We've got experts on the case.
makes a lot of sense.
it's animal
Okay.
blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The,
Well, before, what's that?
keep us being quick and we'll get an answer about the house.
The poodle ambulance. Oh, thank you.
You put these pads down and they still manage to, like their rear
Well,
ends
of
on
course.
leather seats, and you go, oh,
They're like kids, they just poop and pee and
Yeah.
vomit all over the place when you're least suspecting. So,
well, this has certainly been a change, 24 hours of change.
Yeah,
Um,
their whole life changed too.
I don't know whether to say I'm flabbergasted or impressed at Stephan's endeavors.
well,
He was, as far as I knew, he was gonna pass out at 3 a.m.
yeah.
It didn't take me long to crash and burn. And then to find out that he made this round trip to Northport.
Well, I can't imagine what's going through your head right now.
Why you being
You're sympathized
pressed?
for you and your family.
Okay.
I'm pissed that he's done this to us, done this to himself, done this to us and somebody else.
It's not an unreasonable thought, not unreasonable at all.
I had no
Thank you,
idea of the issue and what he may be capable of doing here. And it's just like, it's a revelation.
Yeah.
I've always told him to respect law enforcement, respect the law, but it appears that he's decided to live a different lifestyle. I mean, one time he got pulled over by the highway patrol, I could hear him yelling at the highway patrol. And
Right.
Yeah. Don't do that. Listen, they'll haul your butt up from Winter Garden to Mount Dora, and that's a long way to go. And I said, you don't want to upset the guy. The guy was very, very professional. Apparently he was driving on maybe a registration issue or something, so I had to go up and these guys.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. Right now, that kind of thing right now, and they don't.
Maybe we'll get to the moms.
Where are you, the bride home? The model home? The model home? 13. No, Luis has been there today, so no.
We'll bump forward some.
Been there all day. And he would have been there very early in the morning, or Luis would have been there around 10 o'clock, and there, he would have noticed that. Okay. Right.
Hey, Granny Bassmaster. Thank you for being here.
In speaking to our Kissimmee Police Department counterparts, they are not prepared to release the town hall back to her. So I don't have a timeline for that. I imagine they're in communication with her. She may already know that, but they are not releasing the apartment tonight.
Is she still out in the car?
She should be.
She called me earlier and said she's frightened to be out there.
Oh, well, I mean, it's reasonable. I mean, we're good to walk downstairs. This was just kind of a debriefing.
So I'm going to the office tomorrow and spend some time there. Do you need to get together with me anytime tomorrow before I leave town and head back?
If we do, we'll contact you. If you're back in Northport, that's not an issue. We're going to have one of our detectives down there. If we need to liaison with you at some point, we'll make it happen.
Okay.
So,
They give us county cars and county gas, so we can drive.
and they have AC, not like back in the day.
Well, we had 480.
Whatever that means.
Very good. Well, we
You seem like a good man.
really do appreciate it. I'm sorry that your son. Well,
All right, let's move to a peak.
All right, so I guess I just wait to hear from you guys. What are these guys doing? Waiting for the
We'll see why this is a peak. I don't know.
cultures. Thank you. All right.
Before you go, I can't leave because you guys have impounded my car and my medications are in my car. I need them.
okay.
Oh, there's Jen. I need my medications. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Hey, SARS.
Where are they at in the car?
Front passenger seat.
Or like they're sitting on the front passenger seat?
Yeah, I don't know if they're on the seat or on the floor, but they're inside of a plastic bag. I just need the plastic bags. It's got a rainbow clear medication, like a month-long medication box.
Okay.
Separated by days.
Okay.
I need that in order for me to do anything.
Okay.
And then there's a pill bottle in there. Just bring the whole bag of medications.
Let me go see what I can do, okay? I know it's sealed because we're processing it forensically. Is there any other way you can get a hold of this medication?
By going back to my house, but that's also sealed by forensics.
It's also sealed by forensics, yeah. Okay. Let me see what the best avenue is.
I have already,
Go ahead.
Detective Andrews has already gone in there, and I told him I need my meds, but let me see what I could do. So I don't know if you guys can tag team it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll text. I'll let you know as soon as possible.
You want me to hang tight?
Well, yeah, for the medicine, real quick.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so give me 5 minutes. I'll be back in 5.
Yeah.
It's concluding this interview with Mr. Sterns.
Always.
There we go, that's better. Is that thing will blow. All right, I'm gonna turn my phone.
Right, Ellen?
I may fix a cup of coffee. I'm always thirsty these days. Lucy, we're both on diets. We're taking, she's taking Ozempic, I'm taking Mounjaro. And I've lost nearly 40 pounds.
Wow.
28.
And I'm but I just have to keep hydrated all the time. It's just always thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for meeting with us this morning.
Our pleasure.
This has been a long few days, long week, and I can imagine what it is.
Okay, so here's this interview possibly, well, we'll have to wait and see. It's with both parents. Maybe this is after they've found Madeline.
Just for you guys.
Full of lots of surprises.
Yeah.
We're in the 7th ring of hell.
So the reason we made the trip down here today is I know you spoke to Alex, I think.
Yeah, Alex, yeah.
Yeah, with Orange County, and may have spoke to Corporal Ilgen that works with us.
Is he this tall, slim guy?
No,
Was
he's
he at Orange County also?
He was. I think you may have talked to him out in the parking lot in Orange County.
Yeah.
Yeah, bald guy, probably wearing a SWAT shirt.
No, that didn't work. That didn't. There was somebody else I thought was from Kissimmee PD, but and I thought actually you were him, but obviously not.
So
you're better looking than he is.
I appreciate it. But since I'm the lead detective and he's my partner in the case, we kind of want to get eyes and talk to everybody that's involved. That's the only reason.
Okay.
Yeah. So the reason we're here is basically try to get a background of what you know about Stephan and Jennifer's relationship and that sort of thing and stuff like that. So we can do it one of two ways. I can just give you guys the floor and you can let us know what their dynamic was, or I could do it question and answer wise, whatever's more comfortable for you.
Well, if you do it question and answer wise, you'll get the answers that you wanted. If you let us sit here and ramble on for half an hour, you may not get what you want. You still have to ask the question.
Fair enough for me.
We can fill in the gaps.
Yes.
All right. So any idea how long Stephan and Jen have been in a relationship?
7 years.
7 years.
7 to 8 years, somewhere over there.
Okay. And was it constant throughout those 7 and 8 years, or on and off, or?
They were friends first, close friends first, and then it evolved into a romantic relationship. I think probably the first 18 months was just friendship, and then it changed from there. And no, we did not like the relationship.
Why not?
Didn't approve of it.
Hey, Warrior
She was
Grandma.
had influence on it because of her
Right, destination.
of her
drugs.
Well, drugs plus I think she was taking medications for depression, anxiety, what have you, and I just didn't feel that she was going to be a good influence for him.
She's bipolar. She's bisexual. She's a drug addict. She had a young child. The family was disapproving, and she was sharing those drugs with Stephan. And I don't approve of vaping. We don't do any drugs. We don't even drink.
She said I
can't even take.
And I don't approve of vaping. I'm sorry. That hit me. Like, I don't know. I don't know. That hit me.
Specified medication for pain because my body rejects them, and I get really, really sick from them. So, I mean, went through open heart surgery on Tylenol.
Wow.
So it's
And they were both they slept all the time.
Yeah.
And you know, we had a hard enough time dealing with Stephan sleeping all the time, and now he's got a relationship with somebody else that does it as well. It's just like they were feeding off of each other, and none of it in a positive way. And that's why I disapprove. I disapprove of a lot of Stephan's
that's the only thing. Yeah, only thing her mother and I approved of together was the fact that we didn't approve of the relationship, because if Jen started spiraling down one of her holes of depression, she took Stephan with him. If he was depressed, he brought her in, and it was just always like a balancing act with those two. This is not good. It's not a good dynamic.
You know, when you said they were always sleeping like constantly,
Yeah.
were they taking medicine to go sleeping, or they were just
they were baked out.
Yeah. Well, Stephan has a sleeping disorder, sleep apnea. So he's been tested for it, and his he would be up all night and sleep all day.
Okay.
Type of deal. And we really didn't have that much physical interaction.
Yeah,
with
that's
them.
not from
These
sleep
are things that we
apnea.
just observed.
That's just called being a lazy fuck. That's not sleep apnea. He's awake all day and sleeps. I mean, awake all night and sleeps all day. That's
Right.
not having a job, not making any kind of, contribution to society in any way, shape, or form. That's not sleep apnea, but good
Right.
job.
I wanted to say, Dad, let's stop making excuses for our
Right.
murderous chomo, okay?
Not sleep apnea. Awake all night and sleeps all day. There's nothing good about that. Sorry.
No. And
It's
they
not
make
sleep
machines for
apnea.
sleep apnea, and it really has helped and saved a lot of people. So
Mm-hmm.
come on.
Ridiculous. Hey, Florida Gray.
Hey, Florida Gray, thank you for being here.
Observed from a distance, and trying to talk to Stephan at times, but we just really didn't have any social activity with him to speak of.
when Stephan would be here in town, like what would his routine be? Would he is he a homebody, or
he locked himself in his room, and we would see him maybe once in a while, tell him dinner's ready, but he was constantly in his room all the time.
Can you imagine if that was your grown son in his late 30s?
I'd say what?
That he locked himself in his room. He was always in his room, playing his video games and playing with his cards.
I mean, especially when you don't have any kind of a job or anything. Like, it's one thing if you want to still play your games or whatever. My kids still, they game. They're not in their 30s, but they game still. Like, I understand that games can be fun, but
I do too.
But when you have no job and you're not contributing to your household in any way, and you're, up all night and sleep all day, because of your quote sleep apnea, whatever. I put in the chat, sounds like he has no job-itis to me, but whatever. And sit around wasting time playing video games and stuff when you could be out there getting a job. I mean, he's just a lazy fuck. He's a slug.
Yeah. And his dad's not. So you can imagine how that drove him crazy. You can just
These
imagine.
are his parents right here, right? They look well put together. Like
Yes,
they take
Warrior
care of
Grandma.
themselves.
Yeah.
And they take care of their family. Sounds like, they've always had a steady home life or whatever, except for their weirdo son. It's
Hey, Paisley.
it's annoying to me when I don't know. It's annoying to me that he's awake all night and slept all day and gaming and all this shit when he could be out there getting a job, keeping himself busy, and not getting all caught up in the disgusting pieces of life that he was caught up in. It's gross.
And now he's ruined so many lives.
Really, Paisley? His mother was an enabler. She was aware of him taping his roommate's girlfriend in the bathroom and paid them off so they wouldn't call the police. Wow.
I have heard that. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Tennessee Road. Good to see you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, Paisley. Good to see
He
you.
was painting his little minis for Warhammer.
Yeah, he's
He
obsessed
spent a
with
lot
all
of
that
time
stuff.
doing that. A lot of time learning the new books as they came out. A lot of time online.
She's look. We know the mom. I've heard the mom's an enabler. She almost sounds proud of him for doing this stuff.
For doing what stuff?
He learned all the new books that was coming out, painting his minis.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because she has so
Mom.
little to be proud of him for. So when he does like literally anything, she's all, trying to be proud mom or something.
Yeah. Good
embarrassing.
news. He put his shoes on today and tied them himself.
So proud of him. He worked so hard.
Oh boy.
He did.
Really?
He did
Oh,
play Warhammer with the guys.
Where your grandma says this is not what his parents look like now. I saw a camera interview. They look unhealthy and worn out. I bet. Well, they're probably stressed out.
Yeah.
They're
I
probably
can't
stressed
imagine.
out. I guess. I mean, how could they not be?
Yeah.
Especially
Absolutely
when Steven's
cannot.
calling them 8 times a day just to try to get money on his books.
Yeah. And he's in there thinking, I can't believe my parents didn't send money today. I can't get my ramen. I wasn't able to get my Pokemon cards.
Nasty dick. So gross.
Once a week. Tried to get him to go to the beach. Tried to get him to go to church. Tried to get him to go shooting with us. No.
Did he give an excuse why that he wouldn't want to
Feel
go?
like it.
Just no motivation.
And he walked
Lazy
around with
fuck.
Jen on the phone on
Exactly,
FaceTime
like I said.
all the time. I would be in
Lazy
the kitchen,
fuck
I would look
either.
up and I would see Jen, and she's like, and I look at her,
Exactly
and her eyes
what it is.
were closed. I said, Jen, are you baked? And she says, oh, yeah.
Did you hear what she just said? Did what?
What did she say? That she doesn't like vaping?
She did say that earlier.
Yeah.
But no, she said he would walk around all the time with FaceTime, and I would see Jen, and I'd say, Jen, are you baked? The mom is really wanting, I see at this point, I'm not going to say now, to blame Jen.
Yeah. Well, because like us, we're finding it so hard to believe that all of this happened under mom's nose and she knew and saw nothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's very hard to believe.
But, they were both baked and not caring about Maddie, Mom.
Who
That's
says baked at that age? I'm sorry.
I don't
Baked.
know.
How about just under the influence or high? Why are we
Yeah.
saying baked? I'm a cool person. I say baked.
Right. I'm in with the hip crowd. I
Yes,
don't
I'm
like that
in with
vaping. I don't like that vaping.
Yeah, don't like that vaping. Vaping though, we don't do vaping. Can't do that.
Heard he drove by the vape store twice. I was so upset.
Very disappointed.
And this is recently or throughout
that
the
was in
years?
the last few weeks, yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't. I brought him back in December because I was supporting him living there, and I didn't know that I was supporting the whole family.
Mhm.
Again, Stephan's great at omitting information and not being transparent with me. And I just reached a point. I said, I can't afford to have you working for Disney.
Mhm.
And there's always a deficit in his budget for one reason or another, but somehow he had expensive toys and what have you. Where the money came for that, he needed it after he arrived here. Packages would arrive, and I said, well, I'm not giving him any money. Where the hell is Stephan? It's money I saved, and I'm sitting here going, Bohica. You know what Bohica is? It's an acronym. Bend over, here it comes again.
Mhm.
And, he called me up and said, well, I'm short on funds. Can you, Zelle me $150, send him that. But meanwhile, now he's telling me he's got money in savings, which I didn't believe.
Mhm.
So where the money was coming from, I have no idea. But these packages just kept arriving.
There we go.
When you would support him, how would you get him money?
I sell it.
Okay.
And I paid him, Juan charged Jen rent, and then in November of 2022, the reason why I know that because I looked it up the other day. I said, how far back have I been paying rent there? But he started charging Stephan rent, even though he was sharing a room with Jen.
Mhm.
And then they decided that they weren't going to be in a relationship anymore, and he took over a full room, and now I had to pay $600. And so this just kept escalating. He wasn't taking care of his car. I was waiting for that shoe to drop. So finally, I said, I can't afford you to live there anymore, and I moved him back here.
Mhm.
And I thought, we had hoped that the year that he had spent at Disney, that he had matured and was now, accepting responsibility and had a disciplined routine, and that I could bring him back here and help him maybe develop into something with a better career path than working for Disney forever and not getting anywhere, because at $30,000 a year, he couldn't support himself if he wanted to live on his own.
Right.
And that turned out to be a huge disappointment, because he fell right back into his same MO. Locked himself in his room, wouldn't help us around the house. And we were like on eggshells, because when he was here, it was always tension because of his sleep disorder, and the dogs obviously are not the quietest things in the world. And, they have their routine. We have our routine. So we let them out in the evening, and it's chaos with them. We let them out in the morning, it's chaos. But for the most of the time, they're at feeding time, they're quiet, But again, that would disturb him, and didn't want to cause a flare up with him.
So when it would disturb him with the dogs, was that
knock him out?
What knocks him out?
I said they should have knocked him out.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
If you come in my house and live under my roof, my dog gets to do whatever he wants.
Yes, for sure.
And if that interrupts your sleep pattern, sorry, you should have went to bed last night when we did.
Right. We don't keep vampire hours in this house.
Me either, Warrior Grandma. I can't imagine.
during the daytime, or was him trying to sleep at night?
Oh, it could be any time.
Oh, okay.
If anybody comes to the door, get a package, a rat farts in the yard, doesn't matter, they hear it.
So if he's sleeping during the day and we're doing our daily routine, there's going to be distraction. If I come in the house, they're going, hey, I'm home. They'd be a lot harder.
Right.
So, but I would just hope that he was soundly sleeping and that he would just sleep through it. But occasionally you would hear a bark out from him.
Or if he had his headphones on.
Yeah.
So when you said you brought him back in December, do you remember when? First part of December, end of December?
I had to look up. It'd be early part of December because I was trying to get him out of there. I thought it was the end of November. It could have been at the very end of November or the very first part of December because I didn't want to owe Juan another month's rent. I wanted them out of there.
But did he mention if they were split up at that time or if they were still?
Well, they were supposed to be officially broken up.
Mm-hmm. Did he ever say why they broke up?
They just, yes and no. Jen told me as recently as last week, she didn't want him as a partner. Mm-hmm. She realized that he was not going to be a good partner, but I assume that they both recognized that they wanted to go their separate ways. And I would say that occurred several months before, because there was one time he mentioned he was socializing with somebody at Disney, and that didn't go over well or something. She didn't like that. So
I told him, we both told him he would never get into a healthy relationship until he got away from her, because what are you going to do? You're renting a room, you're going to bring a new woman into your room with your ex in the next room? Mm-hmm. That's a bad recipe.
Did this ever happen within the last 7 years? Did they break up and get back together and that sort of thing? Or
Hi, Cheyenne.
I seem to recollect that there was there might have been a pause in that relationship, maybe to the extent of how involved the relationship was, and maybe it became more social than more of a relationship type of thing. Mm-hmm. But again, clueless as to exactly the extent of how involved the relationship really was. I always thought it was just good friends and sex with benefit type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how committed they were to one another.
And that was going on all the way up until December.
Well, actually, before December, because like I said, when he went into the room on his own, that basically was probably the time that the relationship ended. So,
do you remember when that was? You said November?
Yeah, I'm going to try it. Let's see. He left in December, maybe 3 or 4 months before he pulled out of there. I think only paid 3 or 4 months at $600, maybe 3 months. I'd have to look it up.
Do you know if when he came back here in December, was he ever making trips back to Kissimmee at all?
There was I think 3 occasions he went back. This last trip with when all this stuff happened, a trip before that, and then he went back for Thanksgiving, or he was there for Thanksgiving. So
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
yeah, so he wasn't invited to the family events, and but he was there at that time.
Okay. I'm assuming just visiting Jen, or was he visiting other people?
He was visiting Jim.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who else he would be associated with at that time.
Okay.
I don't think he had any relationships outside of Jen. Maybe I think there was a time or two he mentioned that he was going to go out with some cast members after work.
Bear was one of them.
Yeah, but that's the only time.
Has he ever lived in Kissimmee prior to meeting Jen?
No.
No. Okay. Always here in Northport, or has he lived out
Well,
elsewhere?
we moved here.
Windermere.
We moved here in May of 2020, so he was always at our home there, or he lived here. And then we finally got him out of here, and there was an opportunity for him to go live in Kissimmee.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier, Cheyenne.
But with Jen is when he went to Kissimmee.
Yeah, not on his own.
Yes, Florida.
They were both supposed to be working at Disney together, but she can't keep a job
Do you know why?
because of the bipolar.
Well,
She doesn't want to lose her state benefits.
but depending on the type of work, she had back issues or something, so she couldn't do physical things. And now she did have a job as a concierge that didn't require any pressure or stress on her back or something. But there was always something that prevented her from working. Couldn't do dog sitting, whatever job it was, it would last no more than 2 weeks, and then she'd be back.
And she was going to go to school for nursing. And I'm thinking, oh my God, save the world.
Well, then she was going to get into graphic design.
Oh yeah.
Dad bought her an Apple computer thinking she was going to take these classes or online, and that didn't last long either.
And you're hearing this from
her,
Stephan? Oh, from both of them. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And everything that we're basically telling you is a lot of it's hearsay from what we were told. We didn't physically observe this, any of this stuff. Very, very little interaction with them. And then when they were here, they were either in Stephan's room. Maddie always slept with Debbie, but Maddie floated around here, played with the dogs, did things little girls do with Debbie.
We did some arts and crafts together.
You were teaching her knitting?
Crocheting.
Crocheting, yeah.
So that was going to be my next question. So Jen and Maddie and Stephan came here to visit at some point, or a few times maybe.
Yeah, but if he was here, living here, she would actually come down.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, very few trips. The last trip we saw them was we didn't see him, but I think we saw them early 2023, and then maybe for Thanksgiving 2022.
Okay. And then when they were here, you're saying Stephan and Jen would sleep in or would hang out in Stephan's room, and then Maddie would sleep with you, be with you. Okay. Why is that? Do you know?
Number one, he's a slob. Number two, he only has a queen size bed.
Okay.
And number three, I didn't think it was a healthy environment. Like they were going to have her sleeping on the floor, on a sleeping bag. And I said, I have a king size bed. I sleep on 36 inches of it. There's a whole side of a bed. Why can't she be comfortable? So I just insisted that she come in with me, and I had the dogs with me. So if she got up, what Jen used to tell me was, she would wake up in the middle of the night, she'd come and climb in bed with them. I said, well, you're going to have the dogs here. If you get out of bed, you're gonna rouse the dogs up.
I got you. Did they ever talk about their sleeping arrangements at their house in Kissimmee?
Just what I just told you. That if she had a bad dream or something, she would come in, and I told her as Maddie got older, because we've known Maddie for 7 years, we watched her grow up. I mean, this is very hard. But she cute, sweet girl she was, but then she started, in the last year, she started showing signs of bipolar as well. And Jen was horrified by that. They were butting heads like two rams. They were fighting all the time, and they're presenting a very different family dynamic than what they told us was going on.
And you witnessed them butting heads, or?
No, I would be on the phone with Stephan. I would hear them.
So they didn't know.
Going in.
They would lie to her about where Maddie was sleeping. Interesting. But I guess that only makes sense.
And what happens?
Wow.
Don't give.
Are you?
Did you say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just heard. I heard Satan and a little.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Went up my spine.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Each other in the background. That's And I would say, what's going on? Well, Maddie and Jenny are at it again, and I gotta go break this up. So he would go be the peacekeeper. But I just put that down to puberty. She went to puberty. She started puberty at 11.
Right.
It's hormones in me, but anyhow, she developed quickly, became pretty precocious, and other than that, I don't think she had a lot of friends at school. I don't think that she was a very social person. She had been, if you remember, Stephan and Jim both told us that after she began developing physically, that there were some boys at school last year that would push her up against the wall and grab a feel and bully her. And they were having a hard time with the school getting it stopped.
But anyway, when they visited here, she was either out here or they were watching movies together. But when it came to sleeping time, she was definitely in Deb's room.
Okay. Any time where either Jen and Maddie would be sleeping in that room without Stephan, or okay, so the only person that would separate from them would be Maddie when she was sleeping with you.
And like I say, she was always floating around because she was bored. Looking for something
And
to do.
before that, as you see the holes, we had a TV there. We didn't have one in my room that was big, very big, but we moved that one. So I would sit out here with Maddie when they were in there, and we'd watch TV together too. We even got the Disney Channel for her, so she'd have it. And
Do you know if Maddie or Jen, when they were sleeping here, did they take medicine at night or anything like that you know of?
no,
Or did Stephan take any? Has he been prescribed any medication?
he has been prescribed an anti-anxiety medication and a ADHD medication. He's got Adderall and something clomidine, some for sleeping. I don't know what the first part of it is, but
Really didn't know his medical routines at all, hers or Jen's, other than the fact that
she was always changing medications.
she was, I think, taking medication for depressant and
Bipolar.
anxiety and bipolar. But I don't know anything beyond that.
She had a prescription for medical marijuana.
Medical marijuana.
And so she vaped all the time, and she shared it with Stephan. I wouldn't allow it in my house. I don't like the smell of it. I said, if you're going to do that, you have to be outside. You can't bring it in here.
Now, after Stephan moved back here and
so when she said I don't like vaping, I think she was probably meaning weed. Those weed pens. Not that that's a big deal. Yesterday when I went to this, are you here?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What did you just say? Sorry, I got cut off.
I said, I think when she was talking about vaping, I think she meant the weed pens that people vape.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday I was at the store getting a vape, and they had something right there beside the counter, and he said he asked me if I wanted one, and I said no. He said, you don't like the flower?
The flower.
I was like, is that what we're calling it now? Is it the flower?
Flower.
I do not.
I do not. Thank you very much.
Yeah, to each their own, but no.
Did she say that when Maddie was over at their place that they all slept together in the same bed?
No.
So Maddie only slept with Jen.
No, when they were at their house, Maddie slept with her.
Maddie
Stephan's
slept
mom.
with Grandma.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I didn't even know that was a new term. I learned it yesterday.
Flower.
Flower.
Okay.
December, and he made the trips back to Kissimmee. Would he drive the silver car? Your
No, that's
car?
the first time he ever drove that.
No. He drove the silver car
Oh, that's
because
right.
his car was in dire need of servicing. So I said, last thing I wanted to do is go 2 hours north and be stranded. And now I'm dealing with a disabled car.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that car was up for maintenance, so I let him drive that car.
What's wrong with his car?
It's 1,000 miles over service. The brake jobs need to be done. He hasn't taken care of that car at all. It's probably going to need about $2,000 to $3,000 worth of repair on it. I'm sure if I take it in, I'm sure it's going to be $2,000 to $3,000. AC was been acting up on it, but I didn't trust it for long trips. If he was just if he was in Kissimmee commuting to Disney, that's one thing, but not long trips.
So this jabroni waited till he got his parents' car, the one time they let him drive it, and did all this stuff in it.
I guess. He's such a piece of shit.
Yes, and then repeatedly said, my hoopty, my hoopty, my hoopty, when he wasn't in his vehicle. He was in his parents' nice Lincoln. Oh, he's such a lie. Hell, he lies.
Yeah, he's
Matter of fact, I had him tow it down here, not drive it down.
Got it. So is it safe to say this last time he came and then maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas is when he took the silver car, or Thanksgiving?
So this last time, then he made it. When he came down here, he made a trip. When he first got down here, he made another trip back to get more stuff.
Okay.
So that was one trip, and then there was the trip in between. I guess he went up for Christmas because I think he was here for Thanksgiving. And then there was this most recent trip. So as far as I know, I think it was just 3 trips.
Now, when he would come back from there, would he have like loads of stuff? Like, I don't want to say furniture because there was
It would just be leftover stuff that, for whatever reason, he had a 10-foot truck,
mm-hmm.
and just the front end of it and all of it, the back was available.
So he rented a moving truck to grab.
I rented it.
Oh, okay.
It was more truck than he needed, and why he didn't get everything he had was ridiculous, because basically they came down to his typical modus operandi. He waited till the last minute,
mm-hmm.
and then didn't have enough time to put stuff up there or whatever, but he didn't bring everything back with him.
Got it. Did he say why he didn't grab his stuff?
He didn't have to. Well, basically, if he did, it wasn't enough. He didn't have enough time. He's like, bullshit. He had weeks to plan for this. I kept on him about that. He's completely opposite me. I start to organize stuff and get stuff done, not wait till the last minute, but he waited until the last minute. Very frustrating.
How long was he in Kissimmee when he made these trips?
Well, he stayed up there. If he went up there, he was up there for the day. Maybe he stayed up there a day or 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Usually.
No rush to get back. No urgency to come back.
This last time he went up here,
Welcome back, Holden.
Did he say why he was going to Kissimmee?
Her birthday.
Her birthday. Okay. Did he say he was invited to a party or anything like that? Or
I think he was
asked to please come.
And you heard Maddie call? Okay.
Yes.
And do you remember when that was?
That's sad.
I know she had a party on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know
was
when?
it Saturday?
I guess.
Or was it?
To make sure he was coming.
Something odd went on Saturday. I don't know if was he invited on Saturday? Or did he just say Sunday, I'm going to Kissimmee?
No, I knew the week before because I found the gifts for Maddie.
Okay. He seemed to be very upset. Matter of fact, he came to me and said, do you have any anxiety medication? I go, no, sorry, don't have anything like that. Everything I have is for diabetes or heart. Mm-hmm. And then he went to Debbie and said, I don't have any. And then he came back and said, well, I found some 4-year-old stuff. I said, oh, okay. but he was suffering from.
Interesting. I wonder what happened. I wonder if he found out he wasn't allowed at the party.
I don't know.
High anxiety, man. I don't know what he was stressed out about.
When was this?
Sometime in the evening. I don't know.
Oh, Saturday or
Saturday.
days prior to that?
Or
Saturday.
did he
Okay.
find out that?
Yeah.
Of course, Alan said that her bio dad said that she was not carrying a baby, but that I wonder if he found that out that Saturday. Well, no, because she had already been texting him about the coins.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
And then he's making, and then I guess the medication worked, and again he looked like he was like very stressed out.
Have you ever seen him like that before?
Yes, when he was very stressed out, and it was like better tiptoe, not sure if he's going to blow up or not. He seemed like he was calm.
Oh yeah, Brian. I want yeah. True crime's much better.
But I didn't know if anything could trigger him or not.
Did it seem like he was more in fear of something or scared of something or just?
It was a different, other than, being really upset about something, it looked like he was stressed out over something. And obviously he never shared any of his feelings with us. And I had no idea he was stressing him out. But something really had him upset.
Angry upset or just not that type of upset?
Not angry upset, but just something worrisome. Just seemed like there was something that was really preying on him, and it was not settling well with him.
Or
And
did
that's
he
when
know? Did he know he was going to do that? Golly, I got so many questions.
I know. It feels like with every interview, I come up with more.
Yeah. Like, why was he so stressed out? What was wrong with him? It was a weird kind of action.
He told you guys he was going to Kissimmee, or did he tell mom prior to that?
Well, he was making plans to go to Kissimmee, and I don't know exactly when this happened, whether he told me on Saturday, but I knew he was leaving Sunday because we talked about the expense of that trip, and he said, well, Jen's going to pay for the trip because I was done paying for this stuff. And he said, well, Jen's going to pay for it. I said, well, go down and fill up the car. I'll take care of that. That would be enough gas for him to get up and get back because that's all he was going to do. And so I'm assuming that the plans were submitted on Saturday, but you're telling me that you knew about it a week in advance, and maybe he started planning that a week in advance, but I wasn't aware of it until the last minute.
But he didn't have this fearful reaction earlier that week. It was just that Saturday.
Yeah.
Did he say how long he planned on staying in Kissimmee?
A week.
A week.
Yeah, I was planning we were planning on him to be gone for a week because we were welcoming the break.
Got it.
What did you buy her as a gift? You said you got her a gift?
I had ordered something, and they looked marvelous, but then I got it, and I think this is really probably too juvenile for me to wear. It's called Mermaid's Beads, and it's made out of sea glass, and it was a dual color bracelet, and they had the stud earrings and the same thing, and they were kind of opalescent. So they're really neat. It's by No Goo, and it's mermaid tears. But I said, these are still in the box. I've never even worn them. I said, why spend money on something? This is something she would really like because I knew her enough to know this was something right up her alley. And I said, this is $90 worth of a gift. That's just going to sit where it could be doing good someplace, somebody could enjoy it. So just gave him the boxes and said, are you going to gift wrap them? He said, no, I'll just take them like this. So.
How did you guys come to hear about everything that happened on Monday?
So I tried reaching Stephan. He called me when he got to Kissimmee Sunday.
Any idea when he called you?
I know exactly because I wrote out the timeline this morning.
Okay.
6:48 p.m. But then I noticed on some pass that he was out around 8:30, 8:48, and there were 2 sun pass tolls. And I said, well, maybe they had gone out or something. But I said, okay, that's a little weird. So that I tried to get a hold of him several times Monday morning, or maybe noonish or so, maybe as late as 2:30ish or something, and then I get a call from him at 3:17, and his voice sounded.
Well, hello, familiar human. This is the Madeline Soto case. It's true crime. And thank you for subscribing, and I hope you stay.
I thought, well, maybe he was just, tired, and then maybe he didn't get a good night's sleep or what have you. And then during that conversation, he says, oh, by the way, I had a flat tire. Radar goes up. I go, what do you mean you had a flat tire? Where could you have gotten a flat tire? And I'm not going to say you can't pick up a flat tire anywhere, but he's just driving from here to the apartment and shouldn't be driving anywhere else per se. Oh, I just got a flat tire. Okay, where? 192. And then he described the fact that the tire was so flat that he ran the rubber off the wheel. Okay, 192, plenty of places to pull over, and you're driving the rubber off the wheel? So then he described that he was changing the tire and that didn't have it set right, and the jack collapsed somewhat and trapped his thumb between the frame and the jack and did hurt himself severely. And I think the conversation lasted about 3 minutes. And I said, well, let's get the car into a tire place and see what's going to cost to repair it. I'm sitting there counting. It's going to cost me several $100s for this now. And then that was it. And then 4:54. I'm just getting out of the car, meeting a customer. I'm going to take him to a house, and he calls, and he says, "I'm en route to Maddie's grandmother. There's been an occurrence." I said, "Well, that's a strange word to use, but okay." And then I'm thinking, "Well, this is weird. 2 events in one afternoon: the flat tire, and now this." And so he said, "Well, I took Maddie to school this morning, and I dropped her off just down from the school because Maddie didn't want to be seen dropped off in front of the school because I'm not driving a cool enough car." I said, "Okay, well, understand that. Teenager, peer pressure, what have you." And he said, I watched her walk towards the school down the rearview mirror as I pulled away. And so then he goes on to describe that she wasn't, it's been reported that she wasn't at school. Like, we went to pick her up, and she wasn't there. Then we come to find out she hadn't been at school all day. And then he starts to describe that the area is a high abduction area. Kids are stolen for abducted, kidnapped, for sex trafficking, and that there's a good chance that she's been abducted.
That's his dad, familiar human.
Typical questions. Well, what have you done to try to locate her? Have you contacted her old friends, social media? Where's her phone? Oh, she left her phone at.
Cassandra, I think isn't he an only child? If he's not, he's treated like one.
At home. Oh, okay. Yeah, she does that from time to time. And it was a 3-minute conversation, and he was sobbing. He was really sounded upset that he was holding himself responsible for this. Same routine that he did in that Tuesday interview. I think he was rehearsing it on me. And it was exactly the same routine, same explanation, the whole deal. And so then I kept in touch with them throughout the evening because they were waiting for police to show up, and it was hours, and I just kept checking in, any news. And then that was it until Tuesday. And then I didn't talk to him again until until Tuesday, maybe it was the afternoon. And again, just trying to get an update, what's going on. And then as the day expanded, then police were now more involved. And there's interaction between, I guess, your department and the two of them.
Mm-hmm. Backtracking to Monday. So you talked to him, you said you tried calling him. When you tried calling him, did it call go right to voicemail or did it ring a few times?
Combination of all of that. I mean, let me get the...
Welcome, Aunt Kathy. It's so good to see you. You're so loved.
I hope that.
And by the way, Jim had mentioned several times that Maddie was going through a phase where she didn't want to look uncool, and that it had become their routine to drop her off 1 block from school and pick her up 1 block from school.
And she told you this?
Yes. And never said anything about it being a high traffic area or anything like that. She just said, it's a straight shot. We can see the school. There's an overpass. We make sure nobody's in the overpass, hanging out. And so we just watch. And then Stephan said he took her by himself. And then in the interview, Jen said, we dropped him off.
Mm-hmm.
She said it several times. And so I don't know if, do you want any conjecture or no? The conjecture is that she and Maddie are the same size.
Mm-hmm.
She wore Maddie's clothes with the hoodie up to cover the dark hair instead of the light hair. And that was Jen himself sitting at the church in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that, Wendy?
No, can you tell me what she said?
Yeah, so her opinion was that Jen dressed up like Maddie and was pretending to be her, and that's why they thought they saw Maddie on the video at the church. That was Jen.
Why did she do that?
Well, she didn't do that, but that's what she thought.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Because obviously, from what we've heard, Maddie was already gone by that time.
Mm-hmm.
So this elaborate charade put on for everybody's benefit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's cool, calm, and collected, and he's a sobbing, wet mess.
So my call to him at 2:25 was 2 seconds, so no connection. And then he called me at 3:17, and that conversation lasted 3 minutes.
And you said he was upset at that time, or he seemed?
No, he seemed off, and I said, well, maybe the anxiety medications or what have you was keeping him somewhat kind of flat on the tone in a way. Mm-hmm. Nothing upbeat about it. And then, matter of factly, I had a flat tone.
Aunt Kathy, I feel the same way. Absolutely.
Oh, we know it, Aunt Kathy. We feel the same way, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that, and then
did he plan on taking the car to a tire shop? Did you guys confirm that plan?
I told him to. I said he's driving on the donut, and we both confirmed that the donut wouldn't last long, and that he needed to get that quickly replaced. And I expected him to do it. I didn't expect for him to do it that day because that's not Stephan's modus operandi. I expected him to do it the next day. So then I didn't hear from him until he called me at 4:54. Mm-hmm. And that conversation lasted 3 minutes. And, as I said, I heard this story about him dropping her off at school and the whole abduction thing. And I heard that even more later in the evening. But I thought to myself, how strange these two events happened and within a short time of one another that afternoon.
Did you question him about it or no?
No, I didn't think about it. When the call came in, he starts telling me that this is just a thought I had. It's kind of strange that coincidence that there were two incidents like that in that afternoon.
Okay. So moving on, you spoke to him around 4-ish. That's when he said Maddie's gone missing.
Yeah, we're close to 5.
Okay. And then you didn't speak to him again until the following day. Is that
no,
correct?
I talked to him for 7 minutes at 6:02.
Okay.
6:02, and then again for 5 minutes at 6:22.
And is that just to get updates, or what's the conversation you're having?
Well, it was me he called me at 6:02, and again, just briefing me, letting me know what's going on. There was an out call at 2 minutes at 6:18, and then another one at 6:22 for 5 minutes. And both of those, I was making the calls. And then nothing again until Tuesday at 12:16, 3 seconds there. And then out at 6:32, 1 minute. I'm not even sure if we had even a conversation. So that was, and then after that, no more calls from his phone. Now Jen's calling me on her phone.
Okay. Did they tell you why?
There was a conversation about whether the police wanted his phone and whether he should give it to him. And I said, do you have any reason not to?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no. And I said, then give me your phone. Let's get this cleared up. What really upset me was in one of the conversations I had with him when it became apparent that he was going to be a person of interest. I said, well, you had your phone. You can document where you've been.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I left my phone at home. Okay. Let's backtrack. Were you anywhere that a camera could have caught you? Where'd you go? And it didn't sound like he went anywhere that a camera could track him. So I said, well, I understand that, but I'm not sure, where a camera would have been. But, thinking he was innocent, trying to help, pinpoint where he was so he could document his whereabouts, because of my understanding, there was a 2 hour gap between when he supposedly dropped her off. And then when he returned home, because he said he called Jen at 10:17.
Mm-hmm.
And in matter of fact, my understanding why he called Jen at 10:17 was to get back into the community because she had to call him in. He didn't have his clicker.
Okay. Is he tech savvy?
My impression, no, but I'm hearing, hearsay from other people that he may have been. But when he told me that he was doing a OS update on his phone and it accidentally wiped out his phone, I cried bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always that one off. It could be,
there are.
When he starts saying, I accidentally pressed the button to reset it, then I knew it was bullshit. That's not in the process of an OS update. You just say, yes, go ahead and do it, and you leave it alone, and it updates and it lets you know that your phone's been updated. End of story. None of this other bullshit.
Do you pay for his phone, or does he pay for it?
I pay for it.
Did you want this coffee?
Yeah, would you put some cream in it? Blonde like you, and duke it in the microwave for 38 seconds.
How did you get to Kissimmee? Like, what made you go to Kissimmee?
Okay, so I got a call. I got a call at 9:30. And then I think that's when that discussion took place about whether to give this phone to the police or not. I said, you haven't got any issue with it, give him the phone. Give him the phone. And then I got a call, and then I went to bed. I was 10 or something. I'm all tucked into bed. I got the boys with me, and I may have been partially asleep because I had my phone on silent. And then I woke up because the phone was vibrating, and then my watch would have been in the office. So the phone was vibrating. By the time I got it, there was no connect. So then that was at 10:42, and then I made an out call at 10:43. And then the conversation was about, you need to come up here.
And who says that?
They both did because they were on speaker.
Okay.
And Stephan said, hey, you need to come up here. And I said, okay. I said, so we discussed, they were being kicked out. They didn't have a place to stay. So I said, well, we need to figure out where to go for, where to stay, what have you. And so I'm jumping in the shower, packing a bag, talking to Dad, making plans to leave, which I did it just after midnight. I tried to make a call to them at 11:56. It went to voicemail, and then I called her back at, now we're into Wednesday, so I called her back at 12 to let them know I was on my way. And then I also called my wife because when I left, the front door, if you notice, has an electronic keypad on it.
Mhm.
That's what I think of drink.
No. Okay. Thank you.
It wasn't working. And it's electronic and it's batteries in there since the day we moved here, so 4 years old. So when I tried to lock it, it's not flashing or anything. I did get it to lock, but I wanted her to know that, hey, if you go out, you're going to have to come back in through the garage door. And the only way to do that is if you had a clicker in your remote in your visor, but you weren't going to be able to get in through the front door. And then I got a call from them at 1:18, lasted for 2 minutes, and then at 1:51, 50 seconds, because I arrived at the hotel.
What were the conversation at the 118 area? What was that conversation about?
Just confirmation of where they were and where we were staying and the address of the hotel, because it was out off of west of Disney off the 420.
And from what I understand, did you pay for the hotel or did they pay for it?
They paid for theirs and I paid for mine, but then it said a pet-friendly hotel, pet-friendly if you pay $150 for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, all right. So I paid for the dog to stay.
Okay. Their dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I actually reimbursed her for it.
Mm-hmm. All right. And when you got to the hotel,
Hey, Olivia.
you had conversations with Jen and
Hey, Harley
Stephan?
girl.
Yeah,
Thanks
we
for
were
being here.
just greeting, gave Stephan a hug and, chit-chatted for a few minutes. I was busy checking in because they had already completed their check-in. They went up to their room. They were on the opposite end of me, but we were on the same floor. I went out to the car to park my car, get my stuff and bring it in and go to my room. And then I went to their room, spent about 10 minutes with them, no more than 15. And then I was heading back to my room to go to bed.
What were the conversations when you were in their room?
I don't
hey,
really
lady,
recall.
we
It was
just
just,
coming in.
everybody settled in, everybody okay. We'll just meet in the morning and see what unfolds at that time. I'm sure there was going to be some more interviews or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to go to the office, our corporate offices in East Evans.
I'm gonna
Have to
bump
go to the
through.
office.
Later when I get a phone.
Because I just want to say, have they found her yet? Like, this is a long interview.
Call from Jen around 10 o'clock, 9:48 or so, I think it was.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how much longer do we have on this?
I'm looking for peaks. Here's a. Let's go to the peak.
Okay.
Now, I am missing a key. I have been missing the second key.
No.
The key came down to access the unit. I started thinking, well, that explains where the other key is. But I could have lost it, but I have no idea where the key is. And the only way to know whether or not anybody else accessed that is if the storage unit printed out it.
Mm-hmm.
And because I don't access it that often.
So I was here the morning that the storage unit was searched. Is there anything of like tremendous value in there? I know there's a bunch of bins and I see a few suitcases and stuff like that.
Yeah, just overflow from the garage.
Some Christmas
I was going to go over and look to see if anything had been moved because I couldn't imagine Stephan going in there. There should have been a bunch of dog crates piled up, and it's packed. Other than just a small section between the bulk stuff and the racks that I had there, where I have access on the right.
He did have some boxes of his stuff, but
Yes, but it's way so far back that he would have to empty the whole storage unit out to get it.
Okay.
Back in the left-hand corner. It's well, that's too much work. He wouldn't be willing to do that much work.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Has a W in the word, he wouldn't do it.
Did you guys ever witness or hear him looking up inappropriate stuff on the internet?
I have no idea because we never had access to his rooms.
He didn't use our computers. He had some.
Obviously, his room is over here. Do you mind if we look?
Yeah. Look, it's a mess.
Is it the same way it was, pretty much?
No, we started cleaning it out because it's just he's existed in there. We haven't touched that room. At this point, he said, "Well, there's no way in hell he's ever coming back here. We're just going to gain access back to this room."
We gave
ours.
the other police complete access to it before we touched anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I had thrown away, the trash off of his big table, I had left there in a bag. And I said, this is all I have done at this point, and if you want to go through the bag, you do it. You know,
So we're just getting rid of clothes and then trash that's in there, and then, like I said, it's going to take a while for us just to get in there and sort it out and figure out if there's anything of value that could be sold. And so, but it's pretty much the same mess that he left it in.
Okay.
That's all I have for now.
I got the floor slipped a little bit.
You mind if we take a picture of it when we?
Oh, yeah. If you want to, go ahead.
Do you mind if I take a picture of your notepad? Of your
Well,
notes?
I'll just give you the notes.
Do you have more?
Do you want to make a copy of them? In case somebody else wants to know the same information.
Oh, I can go do that. Okay to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have the original pictures of the room before I touched it, if you want to see those, or I can send you copies of it.
Yeah, if you don't mind, let me give you. There's my card. If you can just, if you want to email it to me, that'd probably be the easiest.
I took pictures because it was so disgusting. It'll take a while. I've got a week's worth of pictures on.
Yeah, no worries.
I do a lot of pictures. Do either of you like Trump?
I'd rather hold my opinion to myself, especially being on the record.
What the hell
I
just
know this thing
happened?
on the record. I was just going to show you something cute.
Can I make a personal observation?
Absolutely.
Did she just ask him if he was going to vote
Thank
for
you.
Trump?
No, she said. She
What did
just
she
said,
just say?
do y'all like Trump?
What? Oh
She's
my
gonna-
God! I'm sorry,
she's
ma'am.
gonna-
We're in the middle of a murder investigation. Can we answer you later? We're kind of busy. Jesus.
Hey, Debbie doll, good to see you.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sure it was gross. Florida Gray. I'm sure it was gross.
We shall.
That is funny.
Oh, so when this thing came down Wednesday afternoon, we meet with the detectives and then personal escort and what have you, and then everything goes dark at 4 o'clock. 4:04, I get a text message. Finally, I get a text message from Jen trying to figure out what the F is going on. And she texted me and said,
Hi, Ginger.
get
Good to see
Stephan
you.
a lawyer now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She said what?
Why? And then she says, well, they
Let's don't, I'm gonna bump it back.
now.
She said get him a lawyer now.
Yeah.
Finally, I get a text message from Jen trying to figure out what the F is going on. And she texted me and said, get Stephan a lawyer now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? And then she says, well, they have found these images on Stephan's phone that there's sex acts between Maddie and Stephan. And I go, I like disbelief and go, okay.
And I can't
And
believe
I asked her how long. She
her first thought when she sees those pictures of that monster and her baby, and her first thought is get him a lawyer.
Right.
I need to contact his parents to make sure they get him a lawyer now. The fuck?
That it sticks in my head constantly. That was her
so
go-to.
weird.
Yes.
said 2 years. And she said something to the effect, like he needs a lawyer up.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just really weird.
Yes, it is weird.
And so a few hours
Yeah.
later, she
And I hate to tell you this, but it was a lot more than 2 years, sir.
finally comes out of the. I'm communicating with her before this, and I said I got to go get something to eat, and got to use the restroom. The station's locked up. I can't get in. And she said, "Well, they said go up to a Wawa or something." I said, "Okay." And the next thing you know, no, they're going to let me out and go to get something to eat. So she comes out, and demeanor is just matter of fact, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we get in the car and we're talking and we go to get something to eat. And I kept thinking, this is a woman who just learned that her child had been sexually abused for the last 2 years.
Right.
And she's acting towards me like nothing's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's like another.
Right. And she also, when she saw that, they told her that they probably weren't going to find Maddie alive.
And her first thought is get him a lawyer now.
Yeah.
So bizarre.
Another day, another evening out, we're just spending time together. That entire time. And then I take her back to the police station. And then she's done with her interview. The detectives come out and say, hey, we want to talk with you. I said, fine, someone's going to have a conversation with me. Arrange for her to get in the car to stay with Sailor. And I go up and have my conversation with Alex, and then I go back to the car and I'm going to take her back home because she needs a ride home. And even her demeanor of coming out with the detectives is just like, everything's fine.
Did she act like that during previous contacts with you guys, whether it be last month, last year? Was it the same kind of interaction?
Yeah. If anything, this is the most interaction I've ever had with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she came here, I never really interacted with her unless we're having a meal together.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're leaving and I'm taking her home.
Exactly, Paisley.
And I kept thinking as we're talking, I'm expecting her to just blow up and start beating the shit out of me or scratching me or chewing my ass out. But no, none of that. I kept waiting for this something to explode.
I don't.
Why would she attack you? You didn't do anything.
Yeah, that.
But I get what he's saying. Like, he expected her to have any kind of reaction, like something. He expected her to start losing her mind. That's a pretty big thing that she just found out, supposedly, that she acts like is no big deal at all.
Yeah.
So strange.
And like Paisley said in chat, the way she said they found pictures of Stephan and Maddie, it didn't sound like she was accusing him. It was just like, he took pictures of him and Maddie. I don't know. That comes off as weird.
I mean, I wouldn't did she understand? She had to have, right? She understood what was happening.
I would think. Yeah.
So weird how she just acted so strange about it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, as we're leaving, before we went downstairs to the lobby, Stephan handed me his pocket knife and said, you better hang on to this. I said, okay. And then I threw it in the console of my car as I'm leaving. I look down and I see this knife and I go, call Alex and say, hey, Stephan gave me his knife that's got it in the console. Maybe you should have it. Mm-hmm. So I swung back around and took it to her, and I didn't get any questioning from her. What are you doing that for? I kind of expected that, but I didn't. Ran to the piece of paper, gave it to Alex, gave him a statement, we left. Took her back. And, everything, she's acting just too normal. It doesn't seem, it's acting abnormal because she shouldn't be that way. Her demeanor should be entirely different. And then she goes on to tell me that Stephan was sexually frustrated because she and Stephan were not having sex. Her medication changed. She didn't have any interest in sex, and so there was no sexual engagement between the two of them. And I said, "Well, this is really unusual conversation."
Mm-hmm. Really?
Why are you telling him that? That's so weird. Who talks to their boyfriend's father about their non-existent sex life? Who does that?
Right. And it's almost like she's making an excuse for their son.
Yes. Trying to come up with a reason why, it makes sense that that's what he did and why. Not that he's a complete disgusting pervert, but that somehow it's her fault.
Right, well, your grandma, yeah.
You know, if you ask anybody else, you know, what would your reaction to be? I said, I would be batshit crazy beating somebody up.
Yes.
And that was not the case. So then I saw the interview. And said, you know, I keep thinking, if I saw that interview Tuesday and they called me, I said, no effing way would I have gone to Orlando, because I would have seen for myself, like everybody else did on YouTube, they weren't buying the story. And what I saw Stephan doing was a repeat of what he had talked to me about on Monday evening.
Video and pictures.
Thank you.
I was just, I couldn't, her mannerisms were exactly what I saw and observed Wednesday evening, you know, if not even better, you know. I was just in disbelief as to how she spoke and how she handled herself at the point when the bird came into the scene and was squawking or doing whatever, and everybody paused and you waited, and then it stopped, and then she smiled, and I said, boy, that's an unusual response to smile about this bird. And I said,
I thought the same thing now.
She is bizarre.
Yeah.
We beat her consistently off. But then, you know, it carried forward into Wednesday. I don't think I would have come up, but then I would have learned some other things about her had I not come. But it's like, why was I brought to Orlando? Unless to get me out of the house.
Which left me here alone.
So I have no idea. But
you watched his interview that he gave to the news, right?
Yeah.
Because you said that was roughly what he told you on the phone.
Yeah.
What was his reaction like to you? Did it seem genuine? Did it seem...
You know, it was very difficult to tell.
In her very first interview, Holden, from her house when Maddie first went missing, she's in there. Her family was out looking for Maddie. They had called the cops, not Jen. And apparently she has a parrot, and it started squawking, and she's like, she just paused, stopped talking, and then kind of laughed and smiled and said, okay, he's done.
Tell when he was
weird.
I could never tell if he was lying to me or not. I mean, it was very difficult. I just, at one point, I just said, you know what? If his lips are moving, he's lying, and I'll never get the truth out of him, and there's no way of breaking him. You know, we're missing a Rolex. You know, where did that go?
My father's Rolex.
So, you know, he would never fess up to that. And again, where did all this money come from? Where's his Omega watch? You know, so I'm assuming where all this money was coming from is that maybe he sold off his Omega and maybe sold off the Rolex, which I find shocking. He would sell that Rolex first before he would sell his Omega, because that's how much he cherished that watch. He inherited some money and immediately went out and spent $7,000 on a watch like he really needed to.
What?
You know, so I know
What? Wow. Wow.
Color me broke. I've never even heard of an Omega.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either, but
it don't matter, you know.
But still, you know, I mean, I guess that's what broke people do, man. They go out when they get a little tiny bit of money. They go out and spend it on the weirdest shit.
My car's broke down, but I want an Omega.
Right.
Okay.
They buy the most worthless stuff.
Idea where
so
that
you
was.
What, pretend to the world that you have money that you don't have? Like, why in the world?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Very impulsive. He couldn't wait. You know, if he wanted something somehow, some way, he got it.
Do you guys have ties to St. Cloud?
No.
We did what?
St. Cloud. No,
St.
we have
Cloud.
no ties to St.
No
Cloud.
ties to St. Cloud.
Yeah.
Any reason why he would have went there?
I have no idea. Other than the fact that maybe he's just trying to get as far away as possible. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, based on what I've seen on TV, I can see where the flat occurred and where he had to drive, I guess, 2 miles back to the hard surface. And maybe something happened. He drove that rubber right off that wheel. I have no idea why he was down there.
Obviously not an easy question. Do you think he was capable of doing what he did?
I would, if you had asked me Sunday, I would have said no. Never in a million years. He loved that child that was supposed to be his stepdaughter if they stayed together. He helped raise her. He was not allowed to discipline her. Maddie did that. Jen did that. But he acted as a peacekeeper. But no. And to kill her? No. I think if I had to put forward a guess, I would think that it was accidental. I think that I know it's stupid. Yes, I'm Irish, and yes, I've had dreams that are precognition. Yes, they come true. But I did have a dream, and in that dream, they were in Stephan's room and in Maddie's room, unclothed. Jen came in to wake her up. Was confronted by the fact that they were together in a way they shouldn't have been, and I think a struggle ensued, and she either hit her head or broke her neck. So I don't think there was couldn't have been a gunshot because everybody would have heard it. I think stabbing, you'd have found blood. So that's the only thing I can think. And that then as she would have told Stephan and my agreement was, this is all your fault. You caused this. This is all your fault. You have to fix it.
We think he's being the front person on this and falling on the sword, and Jen's definitely complicit in this in some way. That's what we think.
So then you believe that Jen would have prioritized your son more than her own daughter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because she didn't have anybody else.
Oh, I think they made a pact.
I think they
And again,
decided who was going to
look at her hugging him and consoling him at that interview, knowing full well what the truth is. And I think Stephan's decided to be the fall guy in this because he's feeling remorse over the inappropriate relationship he had with Maddie, and that since if he's going to be discovered in this, that he's going to be the front guy in this. But she's just as culpable as he is in this.
The other thing is that as a mother, I have seen that child cry. You do not fake the sound in his voice, the clogged sinuses that he was dealing with. Mm-hmm. The man was sick. No. I don't know if she just feels vindicated that she took care of it. I don't know, but I know that he's the only one that's feeling any remorse or any sorrow for that child, and she is not.
I told Debbie when I
Easy,
left
Mom. Calm down.
Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, I said, do we really know our son? Because at that point, I didn't know what to question. But
apparently not, from some of the stuff that's coming out of these calls into Grey Hughes.
But anyway,
I mean, stuff.
She's Grey Hughes.
Did she say Grey Hughes?
Yep.
That's funny.
I love every bit of that. That was great. I think we can end it there because now they're just gonna. I think they want their son to go down, but they want to make sure Jen goes down too. And I don't disagree with that completely
And
at all.
They might think differently now. This is how they felt that day. Maybe they feel differently today. I hope.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason for them to be like acting like that she's just as culpable. I mean, that's what they thought maybe that day, but I don't know if they would still say that today. I don't know.
Yeah.
How long ago was this interview?
Well, I think it was right after it happened. So March 20.
Okay.
Well, yeah, probably. It was probably in March of 2024. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Ooh.
I don't. That was long, and the dad is definitely long-winded, but if Stephan had any remorse, oh, she hates gray hues. Well, I guess she does. Anybody that's going to talk about her son, then you're going to hate the world, girl. Because
Well, yeah, I mean, especially at that time, maybe now she understands differently and maybe feels, you know what I mean? Like it's been a minute since that interview, so
Yeah.
maybe they've accepted reality now at this point. I hope, I hope anyway.
right, choo choo. Maybe y'all raised a piece of ever loving shit.
Right?
Yeah,
Sorry, but it's true. You guys raised a fucking monster.
you did. And
It's terrible. I'm sorry, but it's true. And why everybody, thought it would be smart to defend him, will never understand.
right. Because he,
Get him a lawyer right now. What? What on earth?
Yeah, get a lawyer up now.
Yeah, that would not be my message. Be like,
no,
I need to see him alone right now in a dark parking lot. Thanks.
Y'all want a confession? Give me a bat in 15 minutes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yes, very much that.
Yeah. And I'm sure there was several points in time where the cops probably would have done it and turned the other way. Okay.
Yeah,
But
I wonder. Oh.
So tomorrow is to be announced. See what trials are going on, and I'm sure I can find something more about this because there's a
Okay.
lot out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe
but
we'll look into that other case that somebody brought in when we first started this morning.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
That
Sounds
might
good.
be. All right, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be back.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.